Oxfordshire Sports Online.
Well, you join us down here just literally as the game starts. Team player down here. We've had a few technical errors, but it is Didcot in their red and white shirts playing from Teletubby Hill down to the Sainsbury's end in this first half. Joined again by Steve Clare. Ryan Brooks is on the charge through straight away. We'll go through the teams in just a moment, but like a horrible night, we've had a horrible connection. In it goes. Ballard with a shot, cleared straight away by Sampson there for Bideford. Self just puts it back where he can. There's a chance now for Brooks to get down by the dead ball line if he can keep it in. He will keep it in as well. Puts it high, back post. Ballard goes up, heads it down. Chance for Mills, who heads it over from just about a yard. And straight away we have a really, really big effort there for Didcot in the first few moments of the game. Steve, welcome to you. We've had a few problems getting ourselves sorted here, but we're on.
Yes, well, what a start for Didcot that could have been. Just a good ball through from Jack Self. It was played back over to Andy Ballard. He headed it down, and John Mills, who's on a fantastic run at the moment, he had a really good chance there from about 8 yards out, and somehow he missed the target. He headed just over the bar.
It is quite... We do have some fun with this. It is technical nightmare time today, but either way, we'll get it sorted. We'll run through the sides in just a moment. Didcot red shirts, white sleeves and white shorts at the moment, playing from, as I say, the goal away to my left-hand side, across to the goal on my right. Haysham breaking through, strong challenge in the middle of the park there by Harrison, who's adjudged to have fouled Haysham there. The referee is Mr. Webb. So, Steve, do you want to quickly run through the Didcot side?
I certainly can. In goal, James Foster. In defence, Sam Elkins is right side, James Organ left side, Luke Carnell and Adam Leroyd still in the centre of defence. In midfield tonight, we've got Jack Longford, Andy Ballard, Jack Self. And up front, I hesitated there because I think Didcot might be playing three up front. And up front, we've got John Mills, Pablo Haysham, and Ryan Brooks.
We've got Elkins. Sorry about the paraphernalia that's going on. We've got clicks and whirs and buzzes and everything else going on. But you are listening to OxfordSportsOnline.co.uk. We went without a technical officer today who's doing it remotely, Mr. Richard Kirby, and he's managed to get us on air. But like the weather, as I say, it's been rather a difficult time getting us on air. Elkins will clip this ball in. The target is Carnell. Good, strong header away by the rear guard of Bideford, headed back towards the 18-yard mark. It's just headed away near side. Mercy just knocks it long. Self will head it from back just inside his own half, and Longford tries to chest it down, but in the end spoons it over the bar. Yeah, we've got a 4-3-3 going on. Foster in goal, Organ, Leroyd, Carnell and Elkins. Self holding midfielder, Longford and Ballard left and right of him. Haysham in the hole behind Mills and Brooks, and for Bideford in all blue tonight, Fisher in goal, a back four of Sampson, Villis, Harrison and Reid. Then it's Mercy, Ring, Groves and Downing. Groves is your captain today. Wood and Veal at the top of the park. Near side throw for the left back, and it is going to be Reid. Looks to throw into the Didcot half. Headed on. Elkins gets set. Self follows it up to Mills. Mills first time touch, bit strong. Groves gets a tackle in. Chance for Elkins again now. Battling on this near side with Mercy. And in the end, it's knocked long and away by Mills. Brooks will try and chase on the far side. Mercia, his name is. What a good name that is.
Yeah, he's a good player as well. I've seen him down there a few times for Taunton, I think, and Tiverton. He's a good player.
Big game though for Didcot. We can talk briefly about what it's worth. They've done very, very well down at Bideford on Saturday, coming back from 3-1 down. Trouble is they mustn't think they finished the job.
No, that is the problem tonight. I think Didcot, because they finished the game well on Saturday, there could be a slight complacency, although I don't think that'll happen tonight because Bideford will be a good side and hard to break down. But there is always that danger. I think when you get them back for a replay, you think half the job's done and that's it. We're just going to take it on from there. But it won't be like that tonight. No,
it won't be like that because Bideford are in the Southern League Premier Division and Didcot currently third in Division 1 South and West. You are listening to Oxfordshire Sports Online. All the W's, OxfordSportsOnline.co.uk. Hit the black triangle and you will hear us come out of your device. Ball is on the far side of the pitch, put forward there by Longford, headed away there by Villis, and it's a bit of head tennis going on in the middle of the park. Longford now, little cushioned header to Mills. Mills tries to lay it off to his right to Ballard. Ballard can't get there. It's hooked long by Bideford. Nicely played out by Carnell, finds Elkins. Elkins will be put under pressure by Mercier, and in the end it's a great ball down a channel. In fairness, Brooks will have to chase over there and he'll go tight in the corner with Villis, but it's good defensive work by Bideford as they drive the ball long again. Leroy will have to deal with this. There's a lot of pace coming in from Wood here, and in the end, Leroy on the edge of his own 18 hooks it out to where the right back should be, and Carnell will put a big size 10 through it near side. Reed, the left back, gets it down on the halfway line, faced by Ballard, tries to roll it into the feet there of Wood, does so, but Wood's touch isn't good enough, and as he spills the ball to Elkins. Elkins' clearance is then blocked by Wood, and it goes back to the yellow-shirted Foster tonight. He's not in all white. No,
it's the first time I've seen him in weeks not to be playing the white kit. I guess it's probably dirty from Saturday's game.
Yes, that white is a bit stained. Can it be middle of the park? Self will have to get in there. Does. Gets a good challenge on it, but Groves picks it up for Bideford. Spreads it near side to Reed, the left back. In it goes to Groves. Groves back to Reed on the halfway line. Now they just drop the ball back, and in the end it's stabbed forward rather uncomfortably, one would say, there by Villis. And a chance now for Haysham to slide it through for Brooks. Brooks can't get there. Villis just gets a slide tackle in there. But it's interesting, Villis is playing left of the centre pairing, and he doesn't seem to have a left leg.
No, that's right, and he got himself in a bit of a tangle there. I wonder, actually, the game's kicked off 10 minutes late. I wonder whether the problems getting here means that Bideford haven't actually warmed up properly, because they've started quite slowly, and Didcot are certainly on the offensive at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of traffic getting here today, so it was delayed by 10 minutes, and the rain is just literally hosing down as we speak. Quick throw taken on the far side by Organ, throws it back to Leroy. Leroy put under pressure straight away from Wood, who seems to be the sort of lone striker, almost a 4-4-1-1. Self slices it horribly, falls to the feet of Mercier. Mercier slips it through. Chance here. First chance goes in. It's fired in low from Downing, and away Foster goes to his right hand side and gathers safely. Good hands on a greasy surface. Coming in the 7th minute of the first half. Yes, we are running 10 minutes late, so it's a 5-8 kickoff. Foster puts the ball down and knocks it long. Chance on the far side. Sampson goes up, wins his header for Bideford. Leroy goes up about 12 or 13 yards inside his own half, but it comes off his head and squirts away on the far side. That'll be a throw to Bideford. Downing has the ball in his hands. In front of him is Ville, but he decides and elects for Sampson, the right back, to come forward. Of course, Sampson and Groves were first-year pros at Oxford United. Anyway, the ball goes into Downing, who just had that chance. It's squirted away from two. Ballard robs him. Can Ballard run through Groves? He does go through Groves. Ball breaks to Haysham. Haysham gets away. Groves tries to get back. Spread out to this right wing. Brooks has got himself a chance to run at Reed now. Apex at a Bideford box. Goes onto his right peg. Comes in on his left. Chance for a shot low. Not the greatest shot on his left peg, but he's done very well to fashion a chance there. As Brooks has scored a shed load of goals last year for Ardley, went on loan just to get match sharpness back on. We've looking forward to seeing him and John Mills playing at the top of the park.
Absolutely, I'm a big fan of Ryan Brooks. He's come back to the club a lot stronger than he was 3 or 4 years ago, and his goal scoring record at Ardley speaks for itself. So
Leroy's just been done on the far side by Wood. Tried to see it out. Wood's into the box, fires a low shot in, cleared by Carnell, and that was a little bit easy, that was, but a good header out puts Haysham in with a chance here. 4-on-2. Haysham coming forward. He's got to check though, because the runs have gone wrong, but he steps outside Sampson, and in the end Harrison just puts the ball away to centre half on the right side of the defence of Bideford. Puts it away on the far side. It looks like Ian Concannon and Jamie Heapy done their homework so far with the formation. Want Pablo Haysham just in behind those front two, and it's quite a fluid front two, isn't it?
Well, they are a really hot property at the moment, aren't they, with Ryan Brooks coming back from Ardley. He's been there to get himself fit, and he's come back very strong.
Near side, ball played by Haysham, back to Elkins. Elkins puts a high hanging ball up. Target on the far side. Ballard brings it down, flags up, got in behind Sampson, just stole up, just caught a glimpse of the flag away to my right hand side in the corner of my eye. But Bideford would have been no doubt a little bit stung by that first leg. Oh, not first leg, the first game.
Yeah, I think they were. I wasn't there, but by all accounts it was typical game 2 hours, but I also think the elements played in the favour of the team in the first half and in the second half, and Bideford certainly dominated by the sounds of it the first half, and Didcot had a really good second half. So I don't think they're going to be the same differences in ends this evening, but the rain is coming down, so I think it probably does favour the team attacking the Teletubby Hill, I think.
I don't know, I think that this could actually work. Ballard's just been ushered off the ball. Bideford tried to swing it straight in with Mercier, cut out by Carnell. Carnell puts it out under the stand on this near side. Good ball in by Elkins to find Ballard. Ballard's first touch not great. Groves almost get there, and again on the near side Mercier goes back to the fullback Reed, who gives the ball away. Ballard now on a charge through, tries with the outside of his boot to try and find Mills, but it's cut out quite easily by Villis, and in the end Bideford will tidy up, and it's at the feet of the left back Reed, midway inside his own half, 4 yards in from this left touchline. Long ball up, good win there by Carnell, good second win there by Carnell, and he's got a flapping heel from the Wood there, who tried to back heel it, but actually back peeled Carnell in the face, and the fans are not too happy with that decision. On the far side, though, Downey's going to slide the ball into the box, and that'll go away for the first corner because Didcot rather loosely passed the ball away on the far side and lost possession. It's been a little bit of a frantic start on a rather greasy service. You'd fancy that with the pitch, the grass looks as short as I've seen it this season. It's going to be slick, and it's going to be well worth knocking the ball around.
Yeah, I had a quick walk on it tonight. It's the best it's been this season, actually. I think it's good. Not only is it greened up, I think the rain's probably going to slick it up, but there's actually a bit more grass on it tonight.
Certainly going to slick it up because it's coming down like tears from above. Corner on the far side. It's going to be swept in for Bideford. It's a high hanger one. Carnell will have to deal with it. At the back is Leroyd, and they bet in each other's way. And Organ on the post comes off and says, will you start talking, you two? And it's a corner on the opposite side coming here in the 11th minute. And a double corner there, and we're just looking on this near side who's going to take it. It's going to be Mercier that's going to take it on this side. If you listen to Oxfordshire Sports Online, just go to all the W's, oxfordshiresportsonline.co.uk, hit the black triangle, you will hear us pop out of your tablet. It looks like he's going to leave it now for Groves to take on this near side, but it's Bideford that are making the early running in this FA Vars replay. It's, don't forget you can get in touch with us at Oxford_sports. Groves lifts a corner in near post. Up goes ahead, flicks off the head of Leroyd, goes right across the penalty area. Far side, the man that's going to return it will be Villis. Villis on the apex of the box, tried to lay it in. It's the back of Ballard. That goes back some 15 yards. That'll be a throw to Bideford midway inside the half of Didcot. As the rain still comes down, lashes down. Just to give you the officials' names, it's Michael Webb, the referee, assisted by Steve Cliff and Alistair Higgs. I wonder if, no, it's Hignell, wasn't it? The old rugby boy back in the day. Long throw launched into the box. It's a greasy night and the ball could squirt anywhere. Good solid header away there by Organ from whence it came. Still a bit of a throw. It's a big test for Didcot. They've got no game Saturday, so they can actually give it sort of, they've got no game to spy ahead of on Saturday, so a bit of a rest. So if it goes 120, we won't be happy, but well, they will. They'll at least have a Saturday to enjoy themselves. High hanging ball. Leroyd heads it away, headed back in by Groves for Bideford, cleared again by Leroyd. Little layoff there by Brooks. Mills will get onto it, lip of the centre circle, Didcot side. Little toe out to the right back, who is Elkins. Elkins finds Self this time. Little ball round the corner to Longford. Longford now with two for company. After goes back into Self, and it's a poor ball there by Jack Longford. But in the end, got to say that Ballard took one for the team there because Jack Longford just sort of turned it blindly somewhat. Yeah, it was a poor ball. You can see what he's trying to do. He's just trying to tuck it inside for Ballard, but the execution of the pass wasn't great, and Ballard then had to foul him. Otherwise, Bideford would have been on a quick break. In fairness to Jack Longford, it was a midfield splitting pass because it split both Self and Ballard. Did it? It was neither person's ball. Free kick now for Bideford, right on the halfway line as they attack the goal away to my left hand side. Reed knocks it crossfield, looking for Downing coming off the flank. He gets up well, does the big tall number 4, playing on the left wing, but he heads it straight out of play for a goal kick to Didcot Town. So honours in this first 12 and a half minutes, you'd have to say, have gone the way of Bideford. They seem to be more sprightly, a bit woken up from that first game draw. I keep saying first leg, 'cause it feels like a second leg, doesn't it? It does a bit, but yeah, I think the first couple of minutes with Didcot, but since then Bideford have really come into it well. Self will put under pressure there, just gave the ball away. They're trying to drop onto Self actually, and the man they're trying to put on Self is Vil, the number 10. So it's a mirror image. They've already changed their formation from a 4-4-2 to mirror image of Didcot Town. So what they've got is Downing and Wood up the top, and they've got the number 10 Vil just sat on the defensive midfielder Self, and Didcot just trying to readjust to that, and they're not really finding much space. So it's a battle here of Heysham against Groves and Self against Vil. Those two, whoever wins those two battles possibly will profit in the game. Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting one, that, because actually Craig Vil again is another player I've seen down here a few times. He's scored goals. Indeed, the ball is on the far side. It's a throw to Bideford, 12 or 13 yards inside the half of Didcot. Nobody really getting the ball down and playing football at the moment. Sampson comes forward under pressure from Self, has to turn it out now. Downing will put a long cross in. Foster comes and gathers quite safely. as they try and bowl it out. Sam Elkins on the ball, under pressure though, doesn't quite sit down for him, checks about 20 yards inside his own half, ball to the centre spot to Longford. Longford's first layoff doesn't really find self, and a little bit of momentum. Jack Longford coming in for a bit of fearful stick from the locals here, but he's out there giving his all. That's the main thing, and he's just got to keep his head up and keep playing. Ball's back with Foster, the Didcot keeper knocks it long, a long ball as well. That should be easier. Good header by Harrison, flicked on by Downing, and that'll go away for a throw to Didcot midway inside their own half, which the he's decided it's come off Organ. I thought that was definitely a throw to Didcot there, but there we are. Commentator's curse, commentator's eye, whatever you call it, but it's a long way in the dark. That's what I say, Steve.
I think you're right. I mean, the reaction of the Didcot players suggests perhaps it was a bit of a throw, but I agree with you. When I first saw it, it looked like it was going to go to Didcot.
Yeah. Far side Sampson forced backwards, and in the end it's just shoveled up towards the 18-yard box. Good header away by Carnell. Didcot have got to get themselves onto the ball. Villis gets the ball down south now with a dink over the top, looking for Mills. Not a bad ball. The centre half Harrison's just flicked it onto Mills, in fairness, and in the end Reid gets across because it doesn't sit down for Mills, who looked as though he was going to profit from a good pass from South there, because the centre half got caught under the ball, didn't he?
That's right, and I think Mills tried to play it first time, either a shot or hook it over to Brooks, but he completely missed his kick. But that was actually a decent chance because the Bideford defender was caught wrong-footed there. It was a good ball over for himself, and actually
the left back's gone a long way across to tidy up, hasn't he? So right. Shame that didn't quite break. The first goal could be crucial tonight, as it is in any game, but Chris Wilder once said goals change mentalities, and Downing's trying to skip past two, does skip past Longford, deep cross in, good take there by Foster, good hands, looking for an outball, and there's not a lot going wide at the moment, and Foster may have to drop kick this out of his hands. Just to let you know what I can see from my mince pies, apart from plenty of rain, is standing all across the far side and a fence behind it. Vill heads it on to Ballard. Ballard gets it down, shovels it back to Carnell, who's put under pressure straight away. Long ball up, Didcot not really finding their men with these long balls out of the back. And near side, it's back with Mercier. Mercier back to Reid, the left back for Bideford. Knocks it up. Easy header here for Longford. It's going to be Carnell, actually, not Longford. It's headed straight forward there by Mercier. Onto it is Wood. Wood's trying to take on a lot of players. Cuts it back. Chance now for Vill from 40 yards. Fires it in. Ricochets off the legs. Leroy back to Vill. Vill puts it in. Edge of the box now. Chance again. Good defensive work by Self. Getting back there. Just through it. Took the thread away from Ring, but it's still flying around that 18-yard box. In the end, Jack Longford does head the ball away. Reid picks it up, though. Didcot can't get hold of the football. Ring lifts it back into the box for Bideford. Too long. Downing has to scurry away now to the far flank. Chased by Organ. Can he keep it in? He can't, but Didcot looking a little bit rattled. They're not finding their tempo and they're not finding their passes, Steve.
No, they haven't really got started. As I said, apart from the first 2 minutes, Didcot have hardly touched the ball. When they have had it, they've just launched it long, which isn't really Didcot's way at home this season. So I'd imagine both Ian Kincannon and JB Heapy won't be that pleased with what they've seen in the first 15.
At the moment, we're just seeing that if Bideford press Didcot when they're trying to pass, it gets a little bit ragged. Good ball there from Self up to Mills, who turns around the corner, but that's a good clearance there by Villis. Self again with a header, doesn't really get any purchase on it, heads it square, and he finds Mercier. Mercier plays it out to his left back. This time Reid measures it, goes down the channel. Mercier will get it. He's about 4 yards outside that apex of the box, fires it right across the face of the Didcot goal, trying to curl it, but nothing doing there. But all of a sudden they've just got to try and just go back to what they do well. The trouble is when they get pressure put on them, certainly, I'm not being disrespectful to Luke Carnell and Adam Leroy, you know, they can play the ball if they're given time, but if they're put under pressure, it becomes a little bit ragged out the back, doesn't it?
Well, absolutely. You don't want them to dwell on the ball unduly, but by the same token, we do need to get the ball down and have some possession for a bit, otherwise we're going to be playing catch up all night. So
loose ball falls off the back of Wood on the far side, cuts it out. Good reading there by Elkins, comes away dead centre of the pitch. In fairness, he's driving right through the heart here, needs to play it out far side, tries to play it out far side. Harrison cuts it out to centre half of Bideford, halfway line. He's gone down the channel on the far side, the right channel for Bideford, headed away by Leroy, level with the 18-yard box of Didcot, and again they're sort of just taking it into their own hands, not playing their normal game. But this is to be expected. Two sides that will know each other after last Saturday's drawn FA Vase tie. You listen to Oxfordshire Sports Online, all the W's, oxfordshiresports.co.uk, oxfordshiresportsonline.co.uk. Hit the black triangle. You will hear us after all of our technical problems, but well done to Richard Kirby and Gavin Hyatt of Oxbox.tv. Their radio player is also an available place for us to be heard, and you can follow us on Twitter at Oxford_sports. Ball played nicely there by Haysham. Haysham now finds Mills. Mills attacking down the left, cuts back onto his right, rolls it back now to Haysham. Haysham on the edge of the box, got the centre half in front. Good feet by Haysham. Runs into a wall of blue though in the end. Maybe could have done with just laying it back to maybe Longford or Ballard, who were waiting in support there, Steve.
Yeah, brilliant initially by Haysham, but then when he got the ball back in, he probably tried to do a bit too much with it. There were players around him he could have found, and he lost possession, but it's promising.
It is promising. You know that there is goals in that front line, and they've just got to get themselves on. I suppose the main thing is, as Mercier breaks forward with the ball, goes from left to right looking for Downing. Organ will be favourite to get there, but he's having to scurry back now to that far touchline. Turns it in. Downing, if he'd have read it, might have got onto the end of it, because it wasn't a good ball into Foster, but Foster got there in the end. Longford plays it back to Organ. Organ will go back to Foster, and Foster will literally drive the rolling ball along towards the halfway line. Strong header by Harrison, goes all the way back through to Foster, so that's a tearing header, but they just need to try and get themselves on the football, and they mustn't lose faith in what they do. Absolutely. You know, if they're being pressed, they mustn't lose faith in what they're doing. That's a poor ball there by Leroy. Played it down the line, flicked off of Downing, so he's got the throw. Taken quickly. Ballard will pick up the loose ball and just roll it to Luke Carnell. Carnell got half the pitch now to run up to the halfway line. Looking for movement, very concertinaed the game at the moment. A little loose ball there by Haysham, and in the end puts him under pressure. Vill finds Mercier. They've given the ball away in an awkward area, but in the end it's good work by Haysham, and Luke Carnell just puts a thumb up and says sorry about that as Elkins gets support. He's got Carnell behind him. At the moment, Self is got to lose his man. Brooks gets a fortuitous touch, but tries to roll it into the feet of Mills. Cut out there by Harrison. Now far side, Sampson breaks forward. The right back for Bideford up to the halfway line as they attack the goal away to my left-hand side. Plays it into Ring. Ring back to Sampson. Sampson lifts it down the line looking for Wood, who's been both sides of the field today. And in the end, Organ and Leroy cut it out, but it goes out for a throw to Bideford. We've had some 21 minutes. It did start 10 minutes late. The rain seems to have abated a bit, Steve, but it's not been a clear start for the hosts. No,
I don't think Ian and Jamie would be particularly happy, but then again it's still 0-0, so no harm done yet, but I think Didcot have got more in them than I've seen so far tonight.
Long ball over the top, Mercier on a volley, puts it wide. Bit of an ambitious effort. If that had gone in, that would have been Marco Van Basten-esque, wasn't it? Mercier decided to take a full flat cross, waist high, and drill it back towards James Foster, and he put it wide.
You've got to admire their ambition there to try it, but if that had gone in, I think you're right. I don't think he'd have been playing for Bideford for very long if he could score from there.
If he could do that, indeed. Foster taking his time, spots the ball up on the left-hand side of his 6-yard box. He'll be looking to take this kick. It's all concertines, all a little bit cramped in the middle of the park. As I say, mirror formations, and I think it's those two games. It's going to be Haysham, as I say, versus Groves, and it's going to be Vill and Self who comes out on top. At the moment, Didcot not going through Self, but a good ball there to Haysham, who could make things happen. Bit of space here, tries to play it out on this right wing here for Brooks. Brooks now 10 yards shy of the dead ball line, facing the touchline, rolls it back to Elkins. Elkins has got Self coming inside to help him out. He's going to use Self. Self knows to it, takes a touch, a little dink over the top, but he's given it away, and it's cleared by Reed. Again, Self will have to do some work here. Vill steps in front of him. Leroy's in trouble here. Downey's now got a touch. Self's got to get back there. Will try and get back there. Does well to put him off, but in the end, that's coming our way. I hope that doesn't hit the electrical software. We've had hours trying to get this together. If that ball goes through there, I'm just going home. I'm not coming back. Near side, Reed just plays it again, but again it's just the speed of players just getting onto the football and putting pressure on the normal ball playing Didcot side, and just a bit ragged. They're hurrying their passes, but the Railwayman still goalless here against a side from a higher division. Organ finds a feed of Mills. Mills back to Leroy. Leroy into the centre spot where Self opens his body out. Now chance here to come to the right back. Elkins does so. Chance now. They've just got to run the legs off here. Back it goes to Self from Elkins. Elkins sees Self play it out to Leroy. Now they're trying to stretch that front two of Wood and Downing. Into the feet this time of Longford. Self will find a bit of space. Longford will find space, and Leroy on the football will find line, Carnell. Suddenly they're trying to put a little spate of passes together. Self put a bit of space now. Villa's dropped off him. Got to pick a pass. Comes out to the right back. Elkins has got a couple in front. Rolls it into the feet of Brooks. Good strong challenge coming there by Villis. And it's picked up by Reid. Reid advances to the halfway line. Tries to roll it down the channel here for Wood. Wood trying to cut in past Carnell. Carnell gets one touch on it. Edge of the box now. Wood still in possession. Plays it past Groves. Comes out to Downing. Downing 25 yards from goal. Low shot. Ricochets off Carnell. That could just squirt away for a corner. And does so. Third corner to Bideford. And they just sort of played it. But all of a sudden, the delay in holding on to the ball shut all the space up.
That's right.
You can't win in this game sometimes, can you?
I quite like the fact that Didcot kept the ball there for a couple of minutes. It broke down. Ball through to Ryan Brooks, and Bideford broke quickly, and actually Ben Wood did really well, cut inside Luke Carnell a couple of times, and thankfully for Didcot, when the shot did come in, it deflected wide for a corner. But
in fairness, the first one was a little bit of the touch caught Carnell out. He did sort of half played it, and it just broke for Wood again, but it's going to be Groves with the corner. We're into the 25th minute here at the Didcot Engineering Loop Meadow Stadium. It's high, it's deep. Carnell goes up, heads it right across his own 18-yard box, and it's hooked away by Organ, who's there underneath it. Ring gets a head on it before Brooks gets there, and Reid's under pressure from Brooks. Good bit of work there by Brooks. It's curled down the line. That's all that Reid could do, and that should go through now. And it's stopped just from going away for a goal kick, and Elkins puts a long ball up towards Ryan Brooks. Brooks goes up, beaten in the air there. Strong challenge. Harrison's winning everything in the air at the top of the park as Mercier rolls it back from just inside the Didcot half to the halfway line. Bideford's left back. Reid puts it forward. Carnell heads it, not controlled there by Mercier. Ballard dwells on the ball, robbed by Mercier. Ring there for Bideford, spreads it on the halfway line, out to the right back. Sampson gallops into the half of Didcot, plays it down the line to Downing. Downing faced by Organ, cuts inside, runs towards Self. Little ball out, good clearance there by Carnell on the edge of the 18. Didcot on the back foot, one would say, for this first 26 minutes.
Yeah, Bideford have been the better side, and the fact that Didcot are still goalless, I think you have to take a positive from that. But actually Bideford look the more likely, don't they, at the moment?
Well, I spoke to my son. He said the first half, he said we allowed them to bully us a touch. He said then we got into our stride in the second half, and really it was, as you say, a game of two halves. As the ball squirts away, it's going to be another corner to Bideford, and this game currently taking the same sort of vein. Bideford well and truly on the front foot. 27th minute. You listen to all the W's, oxfordshire.online.co.uk. Go to the website, read all about us, see where we will be next. We're hoping to be at Northley tomorrow night for the match between Northley and Shortwood, but that is technicals dependent. Corner swung in, Foster will take under no pressure. No blue shirts there again, comes out. He wants to race this one up quickly. It's Mills and Brooks up top. Not a great kick. Mills misjudged it. Sampson gets it down, turns it inside to Groves. Groves, captain of Bideford, knocks it down the channel. That should run harmlessly through, just to the left of the Didcot penalty area. Foster waits for it to roll in and gathers the ball. Didcot looking around. They need a few star players. They need a few people just to put their foot on the ball and start picking out the runs of Mills and Brooks. And in the end, Foster goes from the apex of his penalty area left-hand side to the right to Carnell. Carnell up to Haysham. Haysham's got three for company. Short ball into Longford. In fairness, sold him really short there. Vill got there, and Haysham almost knew. I think that was two minds when he played that pass.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't put a bit more onto it, but it wasn't just the execution. I think he just misjudged almost the distance had to travel. I mean, the other point I'd make at the minute is Haysham's incredibly deep. Ballard's has been a good 20 or 30 yards in front of him when Didcot got the ball, and I wouldn't think that was the plan from the joint managers tonight to see Haysham that deep when we've got the ball.
Well, I think the thing is, if you talk about the mirror sides going up, as I say, Self versus Vill, that is a pairing. You can see Vill following Self just about everywhere, and Haysham and Groves. It's who is not going to have the discipline, and there you are. Groves has let Haysham drive forward. Edge of the box, right peg, he's gone outside his man, he's into the box, square across, Brooks on his chest, fires a shot in as it sat down, and they are going to be the battles, mark my words. Groves, if he's not as disciplined as Self maybe is the other end to track his man Vill, then Haysham's going to have a field day. They're the two things. The same again, if Self doesn't find or do the defensive side of Vill, then we're going to have a problem. That's what's got to happen. I think the players, the components around those battles, flag goes up on the near side, the components around those battles are the big things, because you know that if Haysham gets in that hole in front of their back four, the runs of Mills and Brooks, there's goals. We know at the other end the same thing can happen. It's who possibly, out of Groves and Self, is going to be the best in their defensive duties.
Well, you read it there. It was spot on. Groves was too far up front, got caught in no man's land, and you don't give Pablo Hashim space like that. And actually,
well, even if you get back and give a free kick, dangerous place. Yeah, it's a really. That could be the intriguing battles on the two sort of mirrored lineups. Normally when you've got a 4-3-3 and a 4-4-2, it doesn't always work out that way, but they seem to have learned from each other from that first drawn match on Saturday. Long kick here by the keeper Fisher. Out on the far side, Downing goes up, beats Organ in the out, but the ball beats everybody and goes through for a goal kick. We're into the 30th minute. It's still goalless down here at the Didcot Engineer and Luke Meadow Stadium. You're listening to Oxfordshire Sports Online. Please visit our Facebook page and like us. That's where you'll find out what programmes are coming up, and also our website, which is all the W's, oxfordshiresportsonline.co.uk, where you can listen to us via your device, whether that be a smartphone, iPhone, tablet or laptop or PC or whatever. You can do. Good ball in there, misread there by the centre half, and in the end Harrison turns it back to the keeper Fisher, and Fisher has really given that everything he's got in his right peg and puts it away on the far side for a throw to Didcot. Again, a poor throw by Organ, not getting it there. Cut out quite easily by Wood. Wood finds Groves. Groves goes round the corner, cut out by Leroy. Flicked on by Mills, and the ball really is not settling down anyway. But a simple task there from a throw in, and they're giving the ball away. Yeah, basic mistakes. I mean, both sides have made them, but obviously with the Didcot hat on at the minute, that's disappointing to see. Yeah, we're Oxfordshire Sports Online. Didcot nestled nicely in South Oxfordshire, and we've watched quite a few games, and they have kept the ball incredibly well in most of those games. But tonight, greasy surface, higher league opponents, I don't know what it is, a little bit rattled in trying to get themselves on the football. One there by Self. Surely Ballard was fouled there by Ville. He was. And the player there, Ring, says it wasn't me. No, it wasn't you. It was Ville who jumped all over the back of Ballard. He buckled Ballard. Anyway, Ballard goes long with the crossfield ball there. Sampson will head that away. Good bit of work there. Hashim coming in off the flank this time. And now it's a slight change with Mills going through the centre and Hashim and Brooks flanking. So maybe again, just trying a different perspective. One of the things with fluid discipline and shape is sometimes players will get lost. You know, you've got Jack Longford and Ballard, they're sort of interchanging, the front three are interchanging, but sometimes you find yourself in the same hole. Yeah. You know, throw here, and it's going to be launched in. It looks like it's Andy Ballard who's going to launch it in, does so towards the near post. It's a good strong header away, head to the box. Hashim comes away, faces his own goal, rolls it back to the halfway line to Self dinks the ball out, looking for Carnell. Carnell got two for company, heads the ball down, but doesn't find a recipient on the end of it. Nice knock in there again. Elkins does well, gets it away from Wood. Excellent play there by Elkins, and Organ now, dead centre of his own half. Under pressure from Ville, ball wouldn't sit down, but he has managed to smash it long. Sampson's missed it. Mills is in behind. It's being chased away from goal, though, by Harrison, facing the far touchline. Down at Sainsbury's end of the ground. Looking for help. Help arrives in the shape of Hashim. Hashim squares it infield now to Brooks. Brooks steps outside of Groves. Groves sticks to his task well. Shoulders him off. In comes Groves again. Has to go back to the halfway line, does Brooks. And Elkins stands it up again, looking for Mills. Mills goes in. Headed away this time by Ville. Brought down on the edge of the box by Ballard. Squares it out to the apex of the box now. Hashim cutting in from the left. He's got Sampson dancing like a Morris dancer. In the end, Ring gets a touch onto Hashim, and it goes away for a goal kick to Bideford. But a little bit of pressure there. Yeah, it's good to see. Ian Sampson there defended very well there for Bideford. We don't know all about Sammy. He played for Didcot about 4 or 5 years ago. Very good young player, and he's a good defender. So John Mills is up against it there, but that was a good effort. We've just had a rousing round of applause from, I think, Bideford fans standing in front of us. The Robin fans turned around and smiled. They were watching us rather than the game. Sounded better with us. Yep. Carnell, big header away. Should be easily cleared down by Villis. Villis puts an up and under it. And Leroy, 10 yards outside his own box, heads it up in the air. Elkins steps in and heads it back to the halfway line. Hashim hooks it over the head of the right back. Sampson. Mills will try and get there. Harrison's in control. Stabs it back to the keeper Fisher, and it's a bouncing one, and Fisher won't like that, and indeed shins it away on the far side. One bounce over the 8-foot fence that surrounds the Didcot Engineer and Luke Meadow Stadium. As a new ball is retrieved, and it's going to be a throw with Organ. You are listening to all the W's, oxfordshiresportsonline.co.uk. Visit the website, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter at Oxford_sports. And in the end, I'm trying to see through the light. Josh Dutton-Black not playing today, still injured.
Yes, he's got a bad toe apparently. He's got looks like his toenail's about to fall off. So
nasty.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about it.
Saw him have a little soft drink inside, and I thought, oh look, there's a JD and Coke. Anyway. Possibly the worst gag you'll ever hear tonight. It worked second time around though. Jack Johnson from the Oxfordshire Guardian liked it earlier. Ballard with a long throw into the box, looking for Carnell, headed away there inside his own box by Villis, picked up by Haysham. Wood's going to put a lot of pressure on, and in the end the ball goes away. Woods covers a lot of ground at the top, almost as much as our young man the other day, whose name I forget, but he should have been imprinted on my name. The young lad that came for Bastion, just run and run and run. He's a real hero of mine, he is, and his name was McConey. And it's near side. Veal has stepped away on this near side from Elkins. Breaks into the Didcot half. 10, 12 yards now. Little ball inside. Mercier now takes it on. Elkins trying to get back. 16 yards. Dead ball line. Clips it in. Ricochets off the legs. Inside the 6-yard box. Good clearance there by Leroy. Elkins heads it down. That should be picked up by Ballard. Ballard now with a chance to go forward. But Bideford don't commit. They got 5 Blues back. And just Jay Mills up front. Mills now with a chance. Brooks trying to get in behind. Just skips off the tooth. The keeper's made a right Ricker trying to clear that. And in the end, almost fortuitously gets it away, and Fisher, in his eagerness to get out and do the old sweeping up, got it bounce everywhere, didn't it? Really?
He very nearly made a terrible mistake and just let Brian Brooks in there, but he did gather himself slightly and managed to hook it clear, but that looked for one moment as if Didcot might take the lead.
We've got a new technical staff down. I don't know who the young gentleman was that helped us out today, but it's a massive thank you for him today, helping us out, getting us on air, because we had quite a problem at the start. And now James Foster's out there with the head, and Carnell with a volley out on the far side, the left wing for Didcot, halfway line. Sampson's there, a little shove in the back there of Haysham. Haysham gets it down and rolls it into Self. Self's going to go around the channel there. Can it get there? Almost an excellent ball there, but good covering going across on the far side there by the man with number 6 on his back, Harrison, who got himself back in position. It looked for all the world, if that was going to go there, that would have been a big chance to sprint in. But Didcot started to get a little bit of a toe hold in. Took a bit of a battering for the first 25.
Yeah, they did, but the last 10 minutes has been a bit more encouraging. They've had a couple of chances and they've at least retained possession better than they did earlier. So I'm more encouraged in the last 10 minutes than I was.
Obviously, I didn't like playing in the rain, because when the rain stopped, it was like, well, we can dry off a bit now in this very warm breeze tonight. It's quite cool, isn't it?
It's freezing.
It isn't very warm at all, is it? 35 on the clock. Bideford with the throw, far side. Sampson with a chance to cross into the Didcot box. Comes off the legs of Longford, and that squirts away for the 5th corner here for Bideford. They've racked them up in the first half. 37 on the clock. And it's going to be Wood to take this one on the far side, and few alarms for any side really. Plenty of huff and puff, but no real sort of gilt-edged chances as we speak. That's commentator's curse, no doubt now, as Wood's about to wrap his foot around his corner. In it comes. Carnell's the target, and he heads it away nicely. Wood will stride back towards the halfway line to pick the ball up. Cuts in from that far touchline. Again, tries to dink it in. Leroy goes up, gets his head on it. Brooks will need to get there first. Does so, but loses out to Reid. Reid dinks the ball back in, and in the end, good covering work by Leroy there, because Downing was coming in the back there. Brooks just dwelt on trying to get the ball down and stabbing it back to his rear guard. And it's another corner. Bideford, as I say, racking him up, and it will be Wood again. Good work there by Leroy.
Yeah, great defending, actually. He must have known the striker was bearing down behind him, but as the cross came in, he just at a stretch managed to just flick it off for a corner. But I mean, Didcot conceded just before half time at Bideford on Saturday. A bit of concentration here. This is Bideford's 6th corner, and they've got to concentrate. It
is Wood this time, not with a great ball in. It bounces a couple of times, but it's Carnell that hooks it clear. In the end, it's a nice cushion ball down by Ville. Back to Sampson. Sampson about 3 yards into Didcot half. The right back for Bideford. Knocks it long. Edge of the 18. Good header away by Luke Carnell. Longford tries to help it on. Brooks could get across his man. Can't gather it. And Sampson inside the centre circle on the Bideford side. Lifts it forward again. Gets it up to the number 9, Mercier. Mercier 18 yards out. Fires it against Carnell, who's having an absolute brick wall of a game at the back at the moment. And it's cleared by Organ. Organ up to Mills. Mills midway inside his own half. Goes from left to right. Elkins gets the ball down. Mercier's there. Haysham gets the ball on the halfway line with Groves. Little ball up to Brooks. Brooks with a little expansive layoff, but Groves reads it, and it's cleared by Villis. Villis gets it up to Wood. Carnell called into action again. Puts his body and his ball all the way up to the halfway line, but Didcot making a few errors here. Self stands out the way as Carnell says, I'll head that. And they're just losing out in the aerial battle. They've got to get it down and play their football, Didcot. When they do that, they could open this side up. But at the moment, it's all played a little bit fast for them. They've just got to get their foot on, dictate the tempo. We're into the 39th minute. Crossfield pass. Downing tries to get in the other side of Organ. Gets the ball down, but he's facing the touchline. The left back's there. Rolls it back to Ring. And in the end, Organ has given away a cheap free kick. Downing dumped. Linesman flags furiously. Taken quickly. But Ring was a little bit too quick for the referee there. But you understand what I'm saying? They've got to play with tempo, but they mustn't play over the line and be too fast and frenetic with the way they play.
Yeah, I mean, I think that last move really was typical of that. They had time really to perhaps just keep possession for a bit, and they just kept on firing balls up front, and neither Ryan Brooks or John Mills could retain possession, so it comes straight back. And actually there was a very stupid tackle from James Organ right out wide. It was a stupid challenge, and now another dangerous situation for Bideford.
Yeah, it's going to be whipped in by Sampson. He's right on the touchline. He's about 30 yards from that corner flag, defended by Organ, the left back. It's lifted in towards the Tubby Hill end goal. Headed away nicely, but Didcot are quite deep. Sampson will pick the ball up and find Ring. Ring back to Sampson. Sampson now faced by Haysham. Tries to roll it in again. Good strong header away this time by Organ. And Brooks has got a bit of space on the football here to go forward. He's only got Mills with him, and that's a cheap one there by Ring, and the referee surely should bring that back. Ring had a little nibble at the heels, and then Brooks gave the ball away, but the referee said he didn't foul you enough, and that's when you see players in the modern game, they try and be honest, they don't get the free kick.
Absolutely right. I mean, Brooksy stayed on his feet, lost the ball a moment later, and really, if the referee had applied common sense, he would have brought it back for the free kick. He didn't, and Didcot lose out.
Well, that's, you can see why managers get frustrated with that, because, if you're honest with it, that was a foul all the way. Selfie wins a good header in the middle of the park. Shouldn't call him that, 'cause it makes him sound like my son, but it was his name. And it goes far side. Haysham now steps inside of Sampson, goes back to the halfway line. Self gets a touch. Left wing now, breaking down, faced by Downing. Tries to roll it down the line. Downing cuts out, throw to Didcot on the far side. But that's what any manager will say. Well, if I don't get it when he stands up, he might as well tumble like an acrobat in a circus. Throw on the far side. Johnson, who's got the ball in his hands. I think that's Organ with the ball in his hands. He's about 20 yards inside the Bideford half. The left back for Didcot. Just a little short one to Longford. Back to Organ. Down the line to Haysham. Haysham heads it in. Brooks is battling hard, and it's a shot from distance in the end from Mills. Well, he's got 27 goals. I don't begrudge him having another. Or is it 28?
No, don't mind that at all. It is 27, and that didn't really look like being 28. But look, we've hardly had a shot on target this half. The way the form he's in, he's good 30 yards out on the angle there. But let's have a shot. That could have easily.
Well, it sat, didn't it? It just sat there saying, "Well, you might as well have a smack." In fairness, Fisher's been called into action, maybe with the long balls through and trying to be the man that's sweeping up behind the Bideford rearguard. But he has had a bit more to do, and he takes this goal kick. Easy header for Ballard on the halfway line, but heads it straight down the throat of Harrison, who controls and plays it out to the left back. Reid for Bideford, halfway line. Still goalless here between Didcot and Bideford in this replay of the FA Vars. Reid with a special crossfield pass now finds Downing. Downing brings it down, level the 18-yard box of Didcot, trying to take the left back on. Lifts the ball in, near post, easy take for Foster. And Foster just comes out. He wants a little bit of help outside as people retreat up towards the halfway line. 42 minutes on the clock. The game did kick off 10 minutes late due to traffic problems in and around the A34. And it's a long kick out. Long way to come on a Tuesday night for Bideford, in fairness. And Haysham loses out to Sampson, who heads the ball away. That'll be a throw to Didcot, 6 or 7 yards inside the half of Bideford. Left back Organ has the ball in his hands. It's not got a lot of options. Vill and Self very, very close together. Groves and Ballard battle for it, and the end it goes out far side. Haysham's taken one in the face there, and it looks like he's taken one across the face there. A bit of an arm, not a malicious arm by Downing, but he has sunk in quicker than a light heavyweight. Yeah,
he'll be okay. I think he just got a trailing arm, and it wasn't deliberate at all. And both players are about to shake hands, so that's nice to see. But yeah, it's a sensible thing by the referee. It's a head injury, and you don't want to.
They're kind of okay for the old blood shirts as well, because you just wipe it on the. Nobody knows, would you?
Absolutely. That's why we're playing red. Didn't you know that?
I didn't know that. No, I'm glad it was nothing to do with a side down the A420 and all the lads from Highbury. But the Railway men, it's still goalless here. Mills is going to return this back to the keeper Fisher.
Highbury.
Highbury is Highbury. That's the back in the day. That's where they come from. They're at the Emirates now, but that's just a concrete.
It wasn't new for you.
So yeah, I know it's the Emirates, but that's just a concrete bowl where they go to now. Highbury's where the real, those Art Deco 30s stands were once put up, and the halls of power and all the rest of it. That's where Arsenal really played.
They're apartment blocks now, apparently.
They are. They had to keep them listed. They were. Oh, well, architecture. Right, moving on. In the middle of a game. Talking of architecture, when's that stand going to be finished at the far end?
Ask me in a couple of years' time and I'll tell you.
On ball over the top. Mill's got a chance to step onto the football. Apex of the Bideford box. Plays it into Ballard. Ballard 25 yards from goal. Runs into trouble. Ballard robbed quite easily. Ring got back and find Groves. Groves plays it far side to Downing. Downing just goes long. Wood's on the shoulder of Carnell, but the man who's also on the shoulder of Carnell is Foster. Comes out, clears his lines, but only finds Downing. Downing now finds Ring. Ring on the halfway line for Bideford. Goes back into his own half, but square across to the left back. Reed now 10 yards shy of the halfway line. Back it goes into the feet of Ring. Back to Reed. Reed tries to put it down the channel. Mercy is trying to get round. Foster's not come. Carnell clears. And Foster and Carnell, neither one. It was one of those teasing ones right in between the two. And in the end, Carnell took centre stage and decided to get rid of it.
Absolutely right thing. He didn't know where Foster was, and he just cleared it and then had a chat with his goalkeeper afterwards. That's the right thing to do in a position like that.
It is the two-bearded maestros, really, because Foster's got quite a bit of chin growth going on, and so's Luke Carnell. Wood gets the throw from Mercier, goes back to Mercier. Mercier rolls it out to Reed. Reed 25 yards from the goal of Didcot, hooks the ball in, headed away on the edge of the box by Carnell, and in the end it's a strong boot from Villis, puts it high again. Carnell heads clear. This time it's brought down by Ring. Flag is up on the far side, offside or onside. Referee needed the crowd to invite him to look at his linesman on the far side, or should I call them referees' assistants nowadays? They don't do anything else, do they, really? They're not allowed to make a decision at all now. They can only assist the referee in making decisions. And he needs it, in fairness, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You're not getting drawn.
No, I'm not going to get drawn, because I thought the reason they changed names was something to do with the fact they could be female, but I just might have misread that.
What, so you think Lions person?
Yes.
That's a load of odd tosh. That is the end of the first 45. Ended on a quote regarding what Lions people would be called. The fans are having a ripple of applause. It's goalless. Bideford from the Southern League Premier, and Didcot from Division 1 South and West, the division below, playing in this replay here at the Didcot Engineer and Luke Meadow Stadium. Not a lot of goalmouth action to report in the first half, but what we can say is it is goalless, and Didcot are well and truly in this game at the moment. We're going to head off now for a couple of bits of audio for you while we try and make sure that we get stress relief, hey Steve, and then we'll come back after these two interviews, and what we will do is we will decide very quickly how the first 45 went. But first person we're going to hear from is indeed Mr. Huxley from Northleigh. We're travelling there hopefully tomorrow, and he's telling us all about last Saturday's game and indeed Wednesday's game. You're listening to Oxfordshire Sports Online.
Oxfordshire Sports Online.
Right, I'm joined by Keith Huxley, Club Secretary of Northleigh Football Club, who play their games down at the A-Plan Enschede Hall Arena, heart of Northleigh. They went to Pooltown yesterday and lost in a trophy. Keith, how was yesterday's performance from the boys?
The performance was excellent. We went one down after 19 minutes, but we pushed hard and we equalised on 41 minutes when Michael Hopkins, our left back, chipped into the box, and Kieran Sanders got on the end of it and from about 3 yards pushed it past the Pool keeper Nick Hutchins. So it was 1-1 at half-time.
Half-time came, obviously magic words in the change room. Pool are a difficult opponent, aren't they?
Pool are 5 points clear of the Southern League Premier, and they are odds on to go into the conference if the conference will allow their ground, which is very questionable, the sufficient permission to go into the conference. But in terms of playing on the pitch, they are excellent. Second half, we came out storming. We had a number of chances, and then on 53 minutes after conceding 2 or 3 corners, on the final corner of the match, the referee awarded a penalty to Paul, allegedly because John Else, our right back, had handled the ball. John Else showed him the mark on his jersey, which showed the ball had hit his stomach, but the referee was having none of it and awarded the penalty, for which times they scored. Lead up to the penalty meant that 3 of our players, including the captain, were cautioned for verbal exchanges with the referee. Paul went on and scored a third goal, which was the best goal of the game, on 67 minutes. But the drama wasn't over yet, because on 80 minutes there was a mix-up between our centre-back Zach Westlake and our standing keeper Kane Lewis, which meant that their centre-forward ran free and was just about to tap the ball into the net when Westlake had to bring him down. So a penalty was awarded. Westlake was sent off, but Kane Lewis saved the penalty. We pushed hard towards the end. We brought on 3 subs, but in the end we lost 3-1.
Right, OK, well that's a massive game. You've competed well. A referee's decision seems to have changed an awful lot of the drive of the game. The yellow cards could become implicit in the rest of the season with topping up procedure, and obviously the red card for the second penalty award could hit you hard. Now you've got Shortwood at home on Wednesday evening in a rearranged game. Now the aim is to get out of Division 1 South and West via the top end and marquee side, and been very much there or thereabouts for a long time. Good unit, good team. Shortwood coming on Wednesday night should be a good game.
Shortwood are an excellent team. We know a lot about them as we were competitors in the Hellenic League. We got promotion before they did, but they've now come up, I think, 3 or 4 years behind us. They're an excellent side. They are cash rich because, of course, they had a superb run in the FA Cup last season, and again they've tidied a tidy pocket of some this year with another good run. We've got some good players. We know all about Shortwood, and it will be a tough, difficult match. So I think 4, maybe 5 places above us in the league, but we're at home. All at Barrington Park, so we're confident.
What about the yellow card situation as club secretary? Plenty of paperwork for you to do. Any players getting close to that totting up procedure?
Oh yes, we've got Callum McLeish currently suspended because of his red card. So Shortwood will be his final game. So he's back for the game on Saturday, the 8th of Clevedon. So he won't be playing. But all the other players will be playing. But unfortunately, Saturday the 8th, we will have 3 players out due to suspension, and they will be Kieran Sanders because of his headbutt at Tiverton, Elliot Osborne-Ricketts because of his verbal exchange at Tiverton, and Morgan Williams because of a tossing up procedure. So 3 players out next Saturday. Shortwood, there are only 1 player out, that will be Callum McLeish.
Well, let's all get ourselves down to the A-Plan and Hall Arena on Wednesday evening, because it should be promises to be a great game, as you say. Cash-rich Shortwood doing well in the FA Cup, and yourselves, who are formidable opponents down at Ensham Hall. Cheers.
Okay, I agree. Cheers, bye.
Oxfordshire Sports Online. Oxfordshire Sports Online.
Right, I am joined by first 15 captain Luke Brown, who is captain in the Oxford Harlequins side. They had a majestic season last season, come up, a couple of defeats, a couple of wins, but a couple of wins on the spin. They beat the old Redcliffians yesterday. Luke, welcome first of all to Oxfordshire Sports Online, and how are you feeling after a tough afternoon's rugby?
Yeah, a little bit sore today, but had really enjoyed the results, so very happy to go down to Bristol and get the win.
For Harlequins themselves, let's do a little bit of a brief history. If we go back not to last season, but the season before, it was a really, really tough time. Last season was absolutely majestic. You just swept all before you as you've made your way back. Were you with them for both those 2 seasons?
Yes, I've been. So I've been here for about 5 years. The issue we have is just a turnover of players in Oxford with students or people coming in for work and moving on. So our teams vary year on year, really. We obviously had a really tough year in National 3 2 years ago, where we lost a lot of players, and then once you start losing games, people seem to disappear. But we've put a lot in place last year, got a few players in, started getting the results, which sort of galvanises the team, and we're able to push on through, win the league and win the cup last year.
It's a really difficult thing, isn't it? You know, when you're going through that sort of defeat season, let's put it that way. When you go through that, I think it was just the one victory which my mate Neville didn't see. He comes and sees you every single week, and he missed the victory for the season. But defeat really does galvanise you, doesn't it? You know, the last year was superb. Enjoy it as you enjoy, learning different things. And this season, season as you've come up, a little spout in the middle there, but you were never being sort of what I would call hammered. You were just losing, competing in games, and the last 2 victories have obviously rekindled the fact that you can go on and do well in this division.
Yeah, we're really confident we're in the right league. You know, we're 4 wins out of 9, 4 wins, 5 losses. We've got to play the top 2, but we've also got to play 2 teams below us. So if we can get sort of 6 wins out of the first 13 games, so we'll have played everybody. I think that's where we are, really. We're a mid-table team in this division. We've lost 5 games, which is frustrating, because our biggest loss has been by 15 points, and we've actually lost 3 games by score. So, close every week.
As you say, you are right in every game. I keep a close handle on everything that goes on. I don't know if Tony Edney is still involved down there. I think he's steeped in Harlequin's tradition, but I keep an eye on...
Stalwart, Tony.
Yeah, he is a club stalwart. He would love me for saying that. We go back many, many moons. But it is a really sort of, rugby's a tough game. You know, it's Sunday morning and you will be feeling all the hits and knocks and everything else that come with it, won't you?
Yes, I mean, there's no, the issue is now it's Sunday and Monday, so it does, there's no way getting away from it. Yes, well, that seems to be the case. But the Bristol team we played yesterday, big bunch of forwards, very physical, and to be honest, although I played in the pack, it was our backs that were better than theirs. So we had to front up front and win enough ball for our backs to score points. I think we run in 5 tries yesterday. So. And
I've recently sat down and watched Dark Blues versus Wasps, and they brought their development side down. I looked at the Dark Blues at the start, and I looked at the Wasps development side, and I thought, whoa, this is one-sided. But running rugby sometimes, as long as you can get the ball out there and actually go at people, that's a big difference, isn't it?
Exactly. We pride ourselves on our fitness, really, and the nature of this city is we've just got a young squad. We don't really have. We've had a few of our type 5 forwards retire, the likes of Tamworth, pulled along, sort of not playing anymore. So we've had, it's young lads in the type 5, and we're coming up against some experienced packs, particularly Bracknell with big physical pack as well. But what we do have, I think we've got the best backline in the division, really, and that's a mixture of sort of Australians and New Zealanders, but also a couple of students and a couple of local lads in there. So we've got some real talent, real pace in the backline. But it's just about us getting enough ball really for them to do the damage.
Now you have Weston-super-Mare, I believe, Saturday down on the Southern Bypass. Just describe what it's like to come down to the Southern Bypass. A little bit difficult to get to down through Hingsey, but when you get there, great atmosphere, great place to come and watch your rugby. Yeah,
it's a really good place to come and watch rugby. It's a bit of an awkward place to get to, but we have various sort of functions on there before matches where we have our sponsors come down, and we also have sort of club members come down for meals beforehand, and then everyone comes out. Quite often we put out 3 or 4 sides at home, so there's a lot of games going on, and then obviously the first 15 fixtures is the main one, and we get, it does vary, but we get usually about 100 people coming down to watch, and we're getting a good atmosphere. Unfortunately, we've lost a couple of games there. I think we're 2 wins and 2 losses at home so far, so we're definitely, Western are below us in the league, so we're looking to win this game on Saturday, week Saturday, and try and get that fortress back again. So we were unbeaten for 15 months at home, so it's a bit frustrating to lose that.
Excellent. Sorry, you've just corrected me. It is on the 15th, so Christmas shopping then, Luke, next week.
No, well, I think I'll be watching the England-New Zealand game, to be honest.
Up in the city centre. You can go back to bed now. We finished the interview. Luke Brown, thank you very much. Spurs 15 captain. He says he's up. I believe he's resting those weary limbs. So you've got a weekend off. Don't drink too much next weekend, and everybody head down to the Southern Bypass to watch Weston-super-Mare, the visitors, a week on Saturday.
Cheers, thank you.
Oxfordshire Sports Online.
Well, we're back here now, and it's fair to say the rain's cascading down again. I'm going to ask, we've had a little bit of news come through. Stephen, what's that news?
Well, it looks like Didcot making a change at half-time. Ryan Brooks, who's come back into the side tonight following an injury, he's been substituted by the sounds of it at half-time for Josh Bain. So actually we revert to the side that started on Saturday at Bideford. And in some respects it sort of makes some sense, because I don't think that the front two, as they were in the first half, held it up well enough.
I think what you're going back to is, in fairness to Ryan Brooks, he doesn't need to injure himself again. Been out for a long time with a hamstring injury, got himself back sort of with his match sharpness, doesn't need to really find himself stretching too far. So the length of time he's been out since back end of August through to the end of October. This is the 11 that have been pretty much settled, isn't it? It's almost like a 4-4-1-1. Again, Haysham will go wherever he wants, and Millsy will be pulling off the shoulder of the man at top, if that is indeed it. I know that at the moment Baines is currently out, I would say warming up, but he's just getting wet, in fairness. The rain is really hosing it down yet again. You listen to all the W's, oxfordshire-sportsonline.co.uk. If you go there, hit the black triangle, you'll hear us pop out of your device, whether that be a laptop, whether that be a PC, whether that be a tablet or indeed a smartphone. You can listen to us. We will be hopefully on air again tomorrow night, bringing you, and that really is weather permitting tomorrow, because there is no cover where we stand, and there's a shed load of electrical equipment. And one thing I will say is I won't be standing out in this tomorrow with electrical equipment, or else I'll be in for a bit of a shock. So keep an eye on our Facebook page, go there, visit and like us, and also keep an eye on our Twitter account, which is at Oxford_sports. Two sides are coming back out. Your real thoughts on that first 45 minutes, Steve?
I wouldn't say it's the most enjoyable 45 minutes I've seen down here this season, but actually it was enjoyable in the fact that both sides, it was a bit of a game of chess, wasn't it? But both sides had spells where they were on top, but neither side's really dominated, and you'd say neither side deserves to be in front. I'm hoping the second half's a little bit more open. There was a bit too many mistakes for me. Neither side really got it down and played. Didcot, I would criticise, if I was going to criticise them on the first half display, is they did give the ball away too cheaply, and they were a little bit too aerial and long ball stuff for me.
I think you've got to give Bideford some credit there, because I think if I go back to the other cup game we came up here, the North League game, there was a moment at 3-0 up for Didcot when Mark G jumped out of the box and just waved his side on to put pressure on Didcot. And one thing we are seeing, and if there's any sides out there listening, is when they play the ball square between Carnell or Leroy, if they get a lot of pressure on them, the pass has to be a little bit more hurried. If it's hurried, the chance of accuracy goes a little bit wayward, and that's what Bideford have done. They've sort of tried to drive on, but I still maintain that there is going to be a situation here where it's who does the defensive work right today. Yeah. I think on a night like tonight, whoever does the best defensive work possibly will come out on top.
I think that's right, and actually it's been a lot tighter than the Saturday's game sounded, and actually you can see tonight being settled by a mistake, can't you? You can see a slip, whether it's a keeping error or a defender slips over. You can see a mistake or a bit of misfortune actually settling this game. Obviously, as a Didcot supporter, you hope it doesn't happen to Didcot, but that's you can see it, especially the rain's coming back down, it's slating down again, it's slippery. It could well be an error that decides this game, which is a pity, but that's where this may go.
Well, you're listening to Oxfordshire Sports Online. You can hear us via the Oxbox.tv radio player. Big thanks to Gavin Hyatt and Richard Kibbe for their radio platform, which goes out via the Oxfordshire Sports Online website. All the W's, oxfordshire-sportsonline.co.uk. Find out all about us, where we're going to be next. Like our Facebook page, and indeed go to our Twitter account at Oxford_sports. Self puts it forward, Sampson heads it away, Morgan chests it down just inside the half, up to the field. Longford plays it out to this left wing. Haysham back to Organ up to Mills, who tries to spin away from Harrison. It's tied against the touchline, and a flag goes up on this near side by the rather intelligent looking linesman. He's Johnny on the spot, in fairness. He's getting wet, he's waving a flag for 90 minutes, so he must be getting paid well.
Oh yeah, they all do, don't they?
They all do. They're like the stars of the show now, aren't they? Lines people. Right. thrown down the line by Sampson, headed forward by Longford. Haysham's beaten to it by Groves. Ballard goes up, tries to get above Ville, and in the end Ring just knocks it long. Carnell watches the bouncing ball, and from midway inside his own half heads it back to Foster, and Foster looking to feed it out to Carnell, and does so now. Carnell in the D of his own 18-yard box, plays it out to Leroy, and in the end it has to go back to Foster. And actually there's so much water on the pitch, the ball is slowing up rather than zipping, and a long forward ball by Foster is headed away there by Villis. Villis only finds Ballard. Ballard steps away from Ring, passes it square past Groves to Haysham. Haysham cuts back to his right peg, feeds it out now to Elkins. Elkins 35 yards from the goal, rolls it in, just a leg shaked at it there by the centre half Villis, and in the end Self picks up the loose ball, heads it over here to Organ. Organ has to scurry back some 10 yards, but now puts the ball down the channel, headed away by Harrison. Harrison finds Downing. Downing finds Groves. Groves' first time ball hit far too long, far too strong, and it goes over the head of the two centre halves of Didcot through to Foster. Foster bowls it out slightly to his right and finds Carnell. Carnell strides forward under pressure from Wood and plays it out to Elkins. Elkins 15 yards inside his own half, right tight on the touchline, plays it down the touchline to the right side of midfield, and now Baines. Baines tries to step away from Reed, plays against Reed, a throw to Didcot some 6 or 7 yards inside the half of Bideford, taken quickly by Ballard, throws it down the line. Reed steps in front of Baines, puts it out of play. They gain some 30 or 40 yards down that far side, and a chance now for Elkins to wander forward. Just takes his time. The rain, just like a thin veil of mist almost, it's coming down so hard. Finds Baines, but Baines under pressure from Mercier on the far side, just turns it out of play, and that's now a throw to Bideford, which the left back Reed will take some 6 yards away from the corner flag he so stoutly defends in the rain down at the goal away to my left. Throws it long, Baines heads it back from whence it came. Reed heads it to Groves. Groves' first touch isn't great, but he manages to hurriedly hook it away from his penalty area, and he finds Elkins. Elkins chests it down and volleys it in towards Mills. Good header away by Harrison for Bideford, and in the end the rear guard just hook it long, and that'll be a throw to Didcot, and rather brilliant bit of skill by the man in the dugout, which I didn't really see any point of volleying it away from the man that's trying to get there, did you?
Not at all.
You know, it's not as though they're 3-0 up and trying to waste time. Anyway, Groves gets the ball down, finds Downing. Downing 6 yards inside the half for Didcot, tries to play it through to Wood, but it's misplaced, and it'll run all the way through harmlessly to Foster, who scurries 10 yards wide of his right hand post, and now will pick the ball up. He's got Carnell to his right and Leroy to his left, bowls it out to Carnell. Carnell, again, it's not a percentage ball, tries to kick it long, it hits Groves. Groves' first touch isn't good, but Didcot don't get round it. Ballard finally gets there. Groves goes back to Sampson. Sampson long ball up to Ville. Ville's out jumped and out muscled by Leroy, and the ball passes harmlessly past the post to Foster, and Didcot at the moment not shortening things up. They tend to be going long, and it's a percentage ball when you go long, Steve.
Yeah, already in the first in the first moments of the second half they've given the ball away a couple of times cheaply, which is what I said after time they need to stop doing. They just need to get back to basics, really. Keep the ball for a bit and keep possession.
There we are. Leroy's just taken a big clatter to the head from Wood. And it's a free kick, and it's about 25 yards inside the half of Didcot, and about 15 yards in from this left-hand touchline as Didcot, in their red shirts and white shorts and red socks, attack the goal away to my left-hand side. We'll run through the sides view in just a moment. Long ball through. Foster should gather. In goal today for Didcot is Foster, a back four from right to left of Elkins, Carnell, Leroy and Organ. A midfield four now of Baines, Ballard, Self and Longford. Haysham will be off of Mills. Ryan Brooks taken off at half-time. We hope it is just precautionary. Hasn't had a lot of football, and this is testing conditions. For Bideford in goal is Fisher, a back four of Reed, of Villis, Harrison and Sampson. A midfield four of Mercier, Ring, Groves and Downing. And up top they have Veal and Wood. A good flick on by Longford, and Fisher, the ever-present Manuel Neuer of the Bideford side, comes running out of his penalty area to thump it long. Halfway line, Groves heads it to Sampson. Sampson stands it down the line, doesn't find Ville. Downing steps inside one, finds Ring. Ring squares it slightly back to the halfway line. Left back Reed now, 10 yards in. Diagonal ball, trying to find Organ, but they'll just watch that sail harmlessly away, because if Reed saw somebody down there, it was but a ghost.
Yeah, again,
there was nobody there.
Absolutely right. He probably expected someone to be there, but I guess that's not the way you play football.
Might be down there. You never know. Headed in there, see if somebody runs on the end of it. That was my game. It was always a great ball. I was just on a different wavelength when I played. Yeah, there should have been somebody there. And if you say it with authority like Darren Brown, then people believe you. That's it. That's what I learned. It's like this commentary lark. 5 minutes into the second half, it's still goalless here in this FA Vars replay between Didcot and Bideford. Bideford currently mid-table in division, the Premier Division of the Southern League, and indeed that's Banbury United's division, and in Division 1 South and West, third place Didcot, who are trying to get themselves into the top of the table to get an automatic or a playoff, are currently drawing here. 3-3 on Saturday, goalless at the moment. Leroy tries to find Longford. Downing gets it. Well, I've got to say to the referee in front of me, Downing was squealing before the challenge had even got there. Yeah. That was a bit early for a squeal.
He's bought one there, hasn't he?
Yep. Mr. Webb, if you want to know, who's just had a shocker of a decision in our eyes. But there we go. Sampson halfway line, right back for Bideford, all blue. We'll be looking to load this up. Target at the top will be Downing as he faced, but they now swaps with Wood. Downing being patrolled by Leroy. It's a high one. Looks like Carnell will be the willing recipient. Headed away. Baines heads it up in the air and back to his own box, and in the end it's broken to Wood. Leroy gets a good toe in. Organ stabs it forward, but not good enough to Longford. Easily taken by Sampson, a right back. Down the line to Wood. Wood tied against the touchline in front of the main stand here. Plays it down. Sampson's on the overlap. Can he get the ball in? Does get the ball in. Good touch there, but in the end, good work by Leroy and Carnell, because the man that was breaking into the penalty area was Ville, and he couldn't take the ball as he dashed from right to left. Ball is still in the possession of Bideford, and they've started the second half pretty lively, and they've got possession on the apex of the Didcot box, and in the end it's good work as the flag goes up on this near side by Self, who just covered his line. He didn't see the flag, and Didcot clear their lines, but they have an offside to turn around. We're into the 8th minute, and deadlock doesn't look as though it's going to be threatened at the moment.
No, it doesn't really. It's gone very similar to the first half, hasn't it? The opening exchanges, certainly in the second period, have gone to Bideford again. They seem to be able to retain possession a bit better than Didcot at the moment, and Didcot really do need to just get a foot on the ball.
Looking at the scribe's pad next to, he's written nothing at the moment because nothing's really happened. Downing turns it forward. Self tries to volley it down, but volleys it straight at Ville. That could be an opportunity now to set Ring off. Ring's trying to get round Elkins. Elkins gets there. And in fairness to Self, hasn't seen a lot of the football. It's been pretty much aerial from the back line of Didcot in this game. But they're trying to get the ball down, but it is a throw to Bideford down the right of Didcot's rear guard. The left, it's being dried off in the shirt there on the far side. Mercier has a ball in his hands. He's not got a lot of options. He's only got he's got Ville in there, he's got Downing in there, and Wood just hanging around like a bad smell. A little touch at the near post by Ville, robs Elkins, goes towards the dead byline, goes back out to Mercier. Mercier steps the ball in there. Carnell near post, heads it away. Doesn't be picked up again by Ville. Ville's into the box, drills it low, hits the legs of Carnell, and volleyed clear, excellently clear by Elkins. Longford's got to put his motoring boots on. He does get that, shoulder to shoulder with Sampson. And I remember Sampson playing a pre-season friendly against Portsmouth or Oxfordshire United, and Jermaine Defoe was on there. Turned round, run into Sampson, and Sampson absolutely cleaned him out. And I think Harry Redknapp looked at it and thought, I think he better come off because that boy's out to do damage. Carnell steps away from Wood inside his own 18-yard box, plays it over on the far side to Elkins. Elkins goes for a channel ball, and Mills is trying to step in behind, and a keeper, Fisher, again acting like a sweeper, comes out and bears the ball long and away for a throw to Didcot. Heysham has the ball. It's about 10 yards inside the half of Bideford. Throws it back to the halfway line to Elkins. Elkins square inside to Carnell. Carnell takes a touch and then plays it out on this near side to Longford. Longford has to scurry back a touch. He's got a few players in tow, one of them being Mills. Mills gets it back and plays it from dead centre out to the right back. Elkins down the line to Baines. Baines back to Elkins. Elkins got Self inside for support, lifts it up, pull ball in fairness, easy takeaway, but the header away by Harrison only finds Leroy. Leroy plays it to Organ. Organ playing like a left winger has managed to step away from Downing. Can he wrap his boot round it? Can do. It's a deep cross, but just too deep in the end, and goes right the way across. But for the first time there, a nice little touch around the corner by Organ, facing the touchline in the grandstand. Just flicked it around the corner like Dennis Burkamp, and then wrapped a cross in.
Yeah, bit of play for Didcot, probably the best move they've put together in the second half. And actually that cross from Morgan was a good attempt. He just sailed over the far post, a little unluckily actually, because he got his foot around it, but Ballard just couldn't quite get on the end of it. But it was promising. It's probably the first time in the second half Didcot have applied any pressure at all.
Indeed, the Didcot substitutes warming up on the far side. Loath to really, I don't know, I'd be loath to change it. I know nothing's really happening, but nothing's really been given away the other way, and it's that stick or twist moment now for managers, isn't it? It's a very awkward situation as Groves tries to come forward. Self puts him under a lot of pressure, makes him play it back to the right back. Longford's dance pass by Sampson, and in the end, good put there by Carnell. Carnell with a ball up, nice layoff by Mills to Haysham. Haysham now wants to roll it through. Flag will go up. Excellent play by Harrison there. It just sensed that Mills was on the spring, and as he went on the front foot, just stood forward and played him offside, but it seems like a mistake could settle this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, isn't it, when games look like that's how they're going to be settled. But actually, I think if Didcot are going to make a breakthrough, that's where it's going to come from. Haysham, a bit of magic just on the edge of the box, and Millsy hopefully on the end of it.
A little difficult ball in there, flicked on by Downing. Comes off the head of Leroy, goes through to Foster. A little bit of a muted fan base now here at the Didcot Engineering Luke Meadows Stadium. It's all a little bit waiting for something to really pick up, or somebody to take the game by the scruff of the neck. Good header there by Longford. Longford finds Haysham. Haysham finds Self. Self now with a bit of space and time. Squares it to the right back, Elkins. Elkins now with a chance to touch. Got Self with him. Goes down the line to Baines. Baines back to Elkins. Elkins just sort of somewhat killed it, but nice little ball down the channel. Ballard sprung in behind the left back Reed. Can he get the ball in? Good play. First corner to Didcot, and it comes here in the 12th minute of the second half, which I'm just looking down at my little board. It's 57, so about time they had a set piece. Let's see what happens.
Well, we've been saying it all season, haven't we, that this is where Didcot are strong. Leroy and Carnell both very good in the air, and if the delivery,
Luke Carnell has not missed a ball in the air so far, so let's hope he doesn't miss this one. It's going to be driven in on the far side. Here comes the corner. It's gone low to Carnell. He's going to have to have a shot. Good work by Villis in the end, but a push and a shove in the box, and the referee has blown his whistle. Did you see anything there?
I didn't see anything, but I'm more disappointed by that set piece, really. You send your big lads up and then you drive it 2 foot off the ground.
And at Oxford United, Kevin Francis, 6'7". We got him from Birmingham, and then we played it into his feet with his back to goal. That's the way to do it. That's the way you play football. Is play to your strengths. Fisher now with a free kick for that offside. Goes long. Leroy will have to go up, gets a good strong header. A chance here now for Haysham to try and pop it. Harrison's been very good. Self picks it up, kills the ball through. Just skips away. I think the flag was poised. Mills had just got himself there, but all of a sudden they're just starting to pose a few problems now. If they can pick up the second ball, that'll be good. Mercier sort of unconventionally gets the ball on for Bideford. Carnell clears it. Ballard's battling with Ring, and in the end Baines just loses out to Ring, and Bideford hold the ball up on the far side. Mercier just inside the half of Didcot, back to the halfway line. Reed goes long. Wood doesn't really get it down, but he gets it down at the second attempt, and in the end Veal tries to go through, but Carnell tidies up. It's been a big man of the match performance so far from the big centre half, Luke Carnell, captain. Thrown back, Bideford try and tidy up. Mercier tries to come in. Elkins this time wins the ball, scoots forward. He's not got a lot of help here, and in the end just gets caught on the back of the heels by Ring. Free kick. And the referee decides just to have a little chat, but Didcot set themselves again. And it's going to be Foster that comes out of his goal to take this free kick for that infringement. 14th minute of the second half, 59 on the clock. Still goalless down here at the Didcot Engineering Luke Meadows Stadium. Long ball out far side. Reed takes it away from Baines, the fullback, and it just draws it with real pace all the way back from whence it came. Throw to Didcot just about on the halfway line. You listen to Oxfordshire Sports Online. The ways to listen, go to all the W's, oxfordshiresportsonline.co.uk, hit the black triangle and you'll hear us pop out of your device, and you can indeed go to oxbox.tv's radio player. Big thanks to Richard Kibbe and Gavin Hyde and Joffrey Chinnock, who the IT specialist to get us on air tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did a great job, didn't he, at the start?
Yeah, you can't trust the Kibbolette sometimes in a hotel room in Ipswich. What else could he be doing at the same time? That's what I want to know. It'll show on your bill, that's all I'm going to say. Thrown into Ballard. Ballard brings it down, tries to step past his man, gets another chance with a little bit of Thierry Henry hand antics. And there's another phrase that you don't really want to mention about a hotel room in Ipswich, do you, Steve?
What you throw over to me for there?
I wanted to get out of a hole quickly. So was the way. Long ball over the top. Mercier is trying to get in there. And he clears it before it goes out for a goal kick to Didcot. Elkins takes it quick. Baines will be put under pressure by Vill. Vill gets across and goes out of play. You've got to help me out. This, you're my wingman here.
I get enough stick down there without you throwing in your comments.
Well, he was the one. Well, I'm just saying there was a little bit of Thierry handwork going on there because Ballard had brought the ball down with the use of the hand.
Let's move on.
I don't know where you were
Come
going.
on.
Please. 15 minutes gone. You listen to Oxfordshire Sports Online. Phone me. No, that's another station, isn't it? Right. The game's dying a little bit. Thrown down the line. Flicked on by Baines and Haysham. Mills gets it down on the chest. Tries to get away from Villis. Could step in by Haysham. Haysham's got loads of red shirts with him. Comes out on his near side to Longford. Longford now. Apex of the Bideford box. Got Sampson in front. Just stands a high ball up. Ballard's a target. Heads it, but it goes over. Tends to head it on the way down. And gets under the ball, in fairness, didn't he?
He didn't get any power behind it, but that was a promising move for Didcot. Probably that has been our best opportunity in the second half. It broke quickly when the ball came in from Longford. Ballard looked like he was going to get a powerful head on the end of it, but actually just sort of looped over the bar harmlessly. But that was a bit more promising.
When the ball got to him, he was on the way down, so he sort of hit it at the bottom, put backspin on it like a snooker cue ball. And in fairness, he hasn't a lot of hair on the head there, but he's clapping. They're trying to get Didcot going, and it's Fisher, right hand side of his 6-yard box. Goal all over left for Bideford, and knocks it long. Target is Vill. Up goes Ballard, gets it down with a bit of mixture of everything. He gets away from Ring as well. Good strength there from Ballard. Shoulders off and gets the ball to Haysham. Haysham just in the half of Bideford, goes back to the left back Organ, back into Haysham. Haysham has put a loose ball into nobody really, and in the end Carnell's gone for the channel, and Harrison's got more shirt of Mills than anything, and the ball goes through to Fisher, and that a little bit symptomatic of the whole of the game really. 2 passes okay, third pass nowhere.
Yeah, that's right. And actually Bideford themselves are giving the ball away at the moment as well. It's been a bit scrappy, hasn't it, second half?
Elkins heads the balls away. Baines brings it down, facing his own goal. Goes back to Elkins. Elkins will try and go down the channel. Going across there is Villis. Villis is being chased by Haysham, and in the end, Villis, discretion, better part of Alap, puts the ball over the top of the 8-foot fence and the hedge behind it. And it's going to be a new football for Didcot Town to play with as Andy Ballard comes. This should be launched in towards the 18-yard box. Something I saw his Twitter account.
Absolutely. I was going to make the point earlier. We did get a throw in from a similar position 10 minutes ago, and we didn't take a long throw, and I don't understand it. We've now got Leroyd and Carnell in the box. This is where Didcot might get a breakthrough.
Andy Ballard, whose Twitter handle, when you sweep it across, says made a career out of football with a long throw, throws it in. Carnell the target, bounces over the pair of them, and it should be tidied up by Mercier. Mercier knocks it long, and it's Wood, Organ and Self sprinting back. The ball could beat them all, but in the end Wood gets there, Organ does his job, and it's gone away for a throw to Bideford, some 10 yards away from the corner flag, defended by Elkins, the right back, and defence to attack in 2 movements. Yeah. Just a long ball.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of that tonight, but you know, at the end of the day, that might be what wins some of the game. So if that's the tactic that's going to win the game, fair enough. But for a football purist and a Gillingham supporter as I am, I'm used to seeing better football than this.
How can you put Gillingham and football purists together?
I'm used to this.
Reef.
Moving on.
You had Akinfenwa and Kedwell. I looked at their waistlines and thought, I'm back in. And then I thought about Giacomo, and I thought, well, you never know. Self steps into a challenge, beats Wood, gets the ball out of Baines. Baines goes long. Not that they're big lads. In fact, Akinfenwa was huge, but he's solid muscle. Haysham and Groves battling away on the halfway line. Groves has done well, but he's run into trouble. Good stickability there by Haysham. Steps away from 2. He's inside the centre circle on the Didcot side. Little ball through. Mills trying to get through. In the end, Sampson gets back. The right back plays it against the shins of Mills on the 18-yard box. Ricochets away, and it goes away for a goal kick. Captain Groves is going to be told off now by the referee because he didn't like the unprecedented hassle he was getting from Haysham in the middle of the park. It's a few A little bit of banter in the crowd.
Absolutely. It was brilliant work, actually, from Haysham. It could have been a free kick, actually. It could have been given, but the referee played on. Groves is still arguing the point with the referee at the moment, but Haysham got the ball, turned inside, and it was a decent through ball, but unlucky, didn't quite fall to Millsy. But it's the sort of thing that's raised the crowd for a minute or so, and that might get Didcot going, because at the minute we just need a spark, I think.
19.5 minutes gone in the second half of this replay for the FA Vars. First game, Leroy has gone forward, eyes on the ball. He's just met a little bit of resistance from Downing's back, and Downing's gone down really, really quickly, and as referees decided to give the free kick, almost like balancing up that last bit of Groves thought it was a foul, might not have been a foul, but he's given one anyway.
He went down in instalments.
He did. That was it wasn't the greatest, was it? But there we go. Long ball up. Carnell heads the ball away. Comes out on the edge of the box. Chance here. Going to be driven in there. Good bit of work here by Ring. Ring dinks it high across the crossbar. Just hits the stanchion behind the top of the crossbar. Not a bad effort there. But Didcot just caught slightly on the back foot there, didn't pick up the second ball. The ball went in, headed away by Carnell. Ring was on it first, and he darted across the 18-yard box of Didcot, cutting away from Bideford's left to the right before just dinking that ball onto the stanchion behind the goal. As Foster now spots the ball up on the left-hand side of his 6-yard box, squirts it out towards his main stand. Longford's there, Organ's there, comes off the head of Harrison. Harrison tries to make some yards. Ballard will look to throw down the line. Haysham will get it under control. Rolls it back to Longford. Longford into Mills. Mills chests it down to Haysham. Haysham slips in trying to retrieve the football and allows Bideford to get there, but they've given it away now. Chance now. Ballard left wing here. Rolls it to the edge of the box. Into the box goes Longford. First shot. What a goal. He has buried that in the top corner. The first real chance of the game. Ballard broke down the left, rolled it in. Longford came in from the centre, took it onto his left peg and put it high into the corner past Fisher for 1-0 to Didcot. And that has the first real chance of the first goal.
What a finish that was. He's got a bit of stick tonight, Jack Longford, in the first half for giving the ball away a couple of times, and actually he did give the ball away. But what a finish that was. It was a mistake from Ring. Didn't clear the ball, gave it away on the edge of the box. When the ball fell to Longford about 15 yards out on his weaker foot, he didn't just thrash at it, he sort of chipped it into the top corner. It was clearly a deliberate ploy. The goalkeeper hardly moved, and actually he showed a real maturity there, Jack Longford. Well done.
And it was a mistake because both sides gave the football away. Didcot gave it away, then Bideford gave it straight back to Longford. Longford fed it back, it was tucked down the left there for Ballard. Ballard rolled it across the edge of the 18. In came Longford, one touch on his right to his left, and as you said, just swept it into the top corner with a little bit of curl on it, but a fantastic finish. Fisher nowhere to be seen, and is that the moment? Is that the defining moment of this Vars replay? Didcot lead by a goal to nil down here at the Didcot Engineer and Loop Meadows Stadium. You listen to Oxfordshire Sports Online. Follow us on Twitter at Oxford_Sports. Ring steps away from one. He's into the box. Tries to go past Leroy. Chance to drag it back. Down by the dead ball line. Right across. Turned in. It's one apiece in no time whatsoever. Bideford have scored a goal that you didn't think they were capable of. Mercier turns it in, and within just a moment, we're talking this is the 23rd minute, 1 in 67, 1 in 68, and it's one apiece, and we're all level. Ring with excellent feet crossed it there, and Mercier with loads of space. I don't know where his fullback was, but he had time just to wrap it in the back of the net.
Yeah, don't know at all where James Organ was for that. And you after you score, you're most vulnerable. Didcot fell asleep there, but give some credit to Danny Ring. He's made the mistake to give Didcot the lead, but that was a great break into the box. He could have actually gone down. I think there was a possibility he could have gone over a penalty. He's driven it across the 6-yard box, and a decent finish at the far post by Mercier.
Yeah, he just literally stepped away from Adam Leroy, who couldn't do anything more than what he did. If it had gone in any stronger, then it would have been a penalty. And he's got to the dead ball line, flashed it across the face of the goal. And Mercier on the far side, I don't know where Sam Elkins was, but he had time to really, the rolling ball came at him with pace, and he put it back with even more pace, back past Foster. It's one apiece, 2 goals inside a minute. You wait all that time and 2 come along at the same time. Leroy heads the ball away. Downing heads it down. Chance again. Ring gets the ball to Vill. Vill plays it out far side. Chance now for Didcot. Baines gets a toe in. Picked up by Ring. Ring trying to go outside. Baines does so. Elkins gets a side challenging. Ball breaks to Reid. Reid up to the edge of the box to Wood. Wood's got a chance to get into the box. Fires a shot wide of Foster's goal. But again, there's a little bit of space just in front of Sam Elkins. Josh Baines not giving him the cover in this 4-4-2.
Yeah,
bit too much space there.
Absolutely. Bideford really haven't done anything second half. They go one down in the last 3 minutes since that opening goal for Didcot. They've created two pretty good chances. They scored one, and actually Wood there when he took aim with that and then shot. I thought that might be going into the far corner. He just sailed harmlessly wide. But actually, Didcot need to get a grip now because Bideford seem to have really taken the game by the scruff of the neck, and actually they look quite threatening at the moment.
I just think that it's not been a Didcot performance that we know. There hasn't been but they are playing against high league opposition, and both sides will know each other, having played 90 minutes against each other at the weekend. My disappointment with Didcot's performance tonight has been that they haven't played their passing game. Yeah. They have chucked too many long balls forward, and with that there's such a big chance of just losing the football. The midfielders can have industry, but if they don't have the football they can't affect the game. Free kick given away on the far side by Groves. Haysham and Groves having a few words, and it's going to be a free kick chance now to load this into the penalty area by Sam Elkins, who can just drift it in, about 2 yards in from that right touchline on the far side. Carnell and Leroy go forward. It's 2-on-1 back for Didcot. And it's Mills, Ballard, Carnell, Leroy and Longford, all 6-footers. Near post will be Longford. This is high line being held by Bideford on the edge of their 18. Just a one-man wall standing in front, trying to block it off at the top there. And that is going to be whipped in now. It's hung up this time for Carnell, who goes up, flicks it on, taken by Fisher. The yard either side. Might have seen Fisher scrambling a little bit more, but he jogs out to the edge of his 18 and bowls it out from right to left and finds Reid. Reid now with a chance. Didcot set themselves, played inside to Groves. Haysham tries to shut him down. Reid now into the feet of the man down the line, the goal scorer Mercier. Back it goes to Reid. Reid tries to play it down the line, comes off of Baines. Carnell jogs across and just hooks it back towards the halfway line. Nice flick there by Haysham infield. Will find Longford, the goal scorer for Didcot. He tries to run through too, and I tell you what, Groves has kicked Longford. I can't see if that's he's gone down like a sack of spuds, squealing, but I didn't think Jack Longford put his foot in now. I thought he caught him with his knee. Well,
he gave the free kick straight away to Bideford, so the referee's seen something there, but don't think he's going to get a booking. He's just getting a talking to, and Groves is up and he's fine, and he did go down clutching his knee as if he'd been poleaxed, but
well, he squealed like a pig.
He did.
Yeah, no, that's two squealers. We've had a Downing squeal and a Groves squeal. For a man that's sort of built like Groves is, that's maybe thought it was going to hurt and therefore wanted to get the squeal out early.
Yeah.
There we are, free kick to Bideford, which will be taken by Villis. And I know Richard Groves as well. Back in the day,
he scored for Weymouth here in a league game, and it must have been 35 yards out. So hopefully he won't do that tonight, but it's one of the best goals I've ever seen down here.
Apart from Pablo Haysham's against Bashley, where he beat 4 players and beat them again.
That was good.
That was nice. Anyway, throw into Bideford. Time drifting away here. We're into the 28th minute of the second half. Downing gets the ball down, being harried by Self, goes back to Groves, who sweeps a wayward ball across field. Baines' his first touch a little bit heavy. This time Ballard goes through. Groves goes through him. No squeal from Ballard, but there will be a card for the first time tonight from our referee, and it's going to be Groves that's going to be the recipient. Michael Webb decides that Mr. Groves is been in his ear too much, squealed too much and kicked too much.
Well, that wasn't the worst tackle we've seen tonight, but that's a culmination of three incidents, one of which a short while ago Groves, he thought he'd been wronged and fouled. He was mouthing off for a good 30 seconds. I think the referee's just had enough there, and first yellow card of the night.
It is indeed. And it's going to be Sam Elkins, 20 yards inside his own half for Didcot. The right back plays it out to the right as well. Ballard's scooted away on the far side, but it clears both. It's not Ballard, it's Baines. And on the far side, I couldn't see, my eyes are
No,
bad.
you see, I'm not the only one there. I thought one of the disadvantages bringing Baines on at half-time is I can't tell the difference between
They're similar stature.
Baines and Ballard.
Yeah, I would say that Baines has got a little bit more hair on his head, but when he's 50 yards away, it is difficult even for my ageing eyes. There we are, back to a long header by Longford. Carnell now. Mills is trying to take it into stride. Will do, just shows too much. Fisher scrambled away to the left-hand side of his penalty area, gathers it quite safely. John Mills, for the first time in all the games I've watched this season, has really been starved of anything that he could call a chance.
I mean, you can't criticise him. He's going to thrive on the balls through to him. But I did read an interesting. We'll just stop there actually because we did go on the break.
Yeah, chance over the top there, but Villis goes back to Fisher. You were reading?
Well, I did read an interview with Mills. It was painfully honest, where he said actually he doesn't do anything else but score goals. Which okay, that's what he's there for. But actually, when he doesn't,
chance here for Downing. Downing cushions a header down. Veal goes in. Oh, good take there by Foster. And in the end, I think Veal may be adjudged to have fouled Foster as he goes in, but Downing has moved away from this right-hand side now. He's playing sort of more in the hole behind the front two. Mercy has gone up. And I tell you, fair play to Bideford and fair play to Ian Concannon and Jamie Heapy. They change it, Bideford change it. They changed it in the first half. They were 4-4-2. They went straight to mirror the sort of diamond formation of Didcot and sort of tried to counter. Second half time comes, Brooks off, Haysham and Mills go back to a conventional 4-4-2 for Didcot, and now they've changed it to a 4-4-2 as well. It is, I suppose, mimicking his sincerest form of flattery. And Downing goes up and wins his header on this near side. Been there for quite some years, Downing. And did he try and start? Did he? I'm getting with the crowd now. Didcot try and go there, and Organ throws it back to Leroyd, but a bit of a Larry throw. Carnell and Leroyd will exchange passes. And again, it goes into the feet of Haysham. Haysham being turned. He's got Self just behind him. Self sweeps it out to the left back here, Organ. Organ will now drive it forward now, but it's a poor ball into Haysham. And Didcot give the football away in a dangerous area. They don't seem to be reading the greens if I was a golfer. It seems to be that they're under-hitting passes on a slick surface, which is slightly strange. Elkins is under pressure from Mercier there. Has to go back to the halfway line to find Carnell, who sweeps it first time out to the left side is centre-half Leroyd. Leroyd for Didcot over the halfway line, 6 yards in from this left touchline. He's got to check, rolls it back to Self. Self takes a touch, he'll go back to Carnell, just retaining the football now, Didcot. And again, Carnell just inside the centre circle now, spreads it out, looking for Organ, who's playing like a left winger. Samson, oh my word. I tell you what, if ever a referee just decided that Samson was fouled by the way he fell to the floor, and he's just got up and jogged away, and that, you know, surely as a referee you must be looking at it thinking, I've just been completely done like a kipper.
Yeah, it wasn't a foul.
It
whatsoever.
wasn't. No. But he just simply fell for the way Samson fell to the floor. There wasn't a lot of contact. Samson lost the header and went down and just spread his arms out as he sort of went to the floor, and the referee thought, oh, it must be a foul. Fisher goes long. Not that I'm biased in any way, shape or form, as I've seen challenges at both ways going tonight. Wood picks the ball up. Apex of the penalty area. Rolls it back far side to the left back, Reed. Reed tries to step it through. Unfortunately, Mercier had checked his run, and it runs all the way through to Foster. We are into the 33rd minute, 78 on the clock now. And Downing will try and shut Foster down, and he tries to. Long ball up, Harrison heads it, halfway line. Self down on the chest. He's got somebody under pressure with him, manages to get it back to Organ, does well, held the ball well. Now it's rolled in from Organ to Haysham. Haysham 10 yards inside the half of Bideford, takes his time, looks out to his right and finds the right back Elkins. Elkins got Baines on the touchline, elects to come inside and try and find Mills. Reads a danger, and then finds Veal up to Wood with quite a different sort sort of challenge. Self has to go in. He's got to deal with it. Does just about deal with it before Downing and Self have a few words. And that's little and large, got to be said there, because Downing must be 6'2", and Self at 5'8" has given him a flea in his ear. Elkins finds himself a long way forward. Little stab ball through. Mills might get to this before it gets to the dead ball line. Kills it back. Linesman 5 yards behind play. Sees enough to say that it went out of play, but a little bit of spark in the game all of a sudden. Getting into that moment when one mistake could be catastrophic for either side.
Yeah, that's right. That was a promising move, actually. Just slightly overhit, and Mills couldn't quite get on the end of it. But actually, that was an opening there for Didcot, and promising at this stage of the game.
34 on the clock. Fisher goes long, the goalkeeper for Bideford. Downing out jumped, and Mills might get onto this. Will it skip away from him? It does that time. A header from Carnell, and Mills is saying that Fisher took that outside the 18-yard box. Can't really react to the crowd because it's just the substitutes for Bideford and on the far side. And Carnell, in the end, discretion better pass to Valor and a little bit of Baresi. Ball in Rosette goes over the far side. It's all getting a little bit edgy.
Yeah, Mills was convinced actually that goalkeeper Fisher there had handled outside the box, but the referee's assistant was having none of it.
Ball on the far side, played around Baines. Chance now for the ball to be drilled in near post. It does so, and it goes wide. And a chance there again. Bideford just found themselves down to the dead ball line. I'm trying to see who it was. It wasn't Mercier. I believe that could have been, I think it's Ring actually, that who's caused a few problems. He's the one that danced in to get the cross in for the goal, which Mercier converted straight after Didcot had taken the lead. And in fairness, since Didcot took the lead, they haven't really fashioned anything else.
Not really. Bideford have had the better chances, and that was almost an own goal actually when that flashed in the box.
First corner of the second half to Bideford. It's high, it's hanging. Leroy heads it away. Baines will have to do well here, but he loses out to Ring. Ring heads it back to Wood. Wood on the lip of the centre circle, tries to play it on the far side. Groves will pick it up, stop it, plays it in. Carnell will have to head this away. Didcot not picking the second ball up now, and it's looking a little bit ragged for them. Ville with a chance to knock it in, does knock it in. Ballard follows it clear. Didcot a little bit deep. Wood will head it back on the far side, and Groves heads it on, but Didcot's midfield quartet not really coming to the party.
They've taken their foot off the gas here, and they could be punished. Someone needs to get a hold of this game. Probably looking at skipper Carnell maybe to fire a few what's into some of his colleagues, because actually Bideford look more up for this at the moment than Didcot, which is a pity at this stage of the game. I'm
looking at the bench, and I don't think there's enough to change it significantly. Does that make sense? There's a lot of like for likes, but there's not a lot of that sort of match winner or that sort of something different on the bench. Maybe Williams, and again a strong challenge there by Baines, has ended up in a free kick taken quickly. The flag goes up, and now what will the referee do? I hope he plays offside there. I do hope he plays offside. If he takes it back and says start again, I will be very, very disappointed. He allowed them to take it quickly. They took it quickly. They were offside. And he does actually decide that it is offside, and he's just got to have his little moment and put him back to where it should be.
Well, I know what you're saying there, because once he's played the advantage or given Bideford the opportunity to score, he can't then take it back and say, well, actually it was offside. So he's done the right thing, but I could see that. You've seen that before, haven't you?
You can. You see that when you think, he's going to change his mind all over the place. Foster will not this long the Didcot keeper. The target is Haysham. Haysham will be beaten by Harrison. Harrison's had an imperious game. Self does well to Rob Wood, gets it back to Carnell. Carnell finds Leroy. Leroy now steps up to the halfway line, the big centre half, not noted for his footwork, but he finds Haysham. Haysham's got two out to his left, little flick over the top. Mills is into the box, he's on his left, Beck fires it in. Good save there by Fisher, arrowing towards that top corner. That's what he says. I just scored goals, and he nearly did again. Corner number 2 to Didcot.
First chance of the night, wasn't it? And what a great offence. Remind me a bit actually of Longford's goal. Fell to his wrong foot, and rather than just lash at it, he tried to place it, and it was the keeper was on his toes there just to claw it away. But a good chance, and Didcot corner.
Elkins comes to this left-hand side. He's going to wrap his right boot around it and curl it in towards the goal. Does so. It's a high-hanging one. Targets are there. Comes to the edge of the box. Baines will have to tidy up here. Goes back to his right peg. Tries to stand it up at the back there. Mills is offside. Good job, really, because he's done a Hale Irwin 1978 British Open air shot. It is... we've got another game going on. I'm trying to think what that was. Oxford City 3, Wimborne 2. Is that the FA Youth Cup? I don't know if that's the first. It is the FA Youth Cup. Right, OK, we need to know how Didcot are getting on at Luton.
Well, I can tell you there. Hold on.
Chance here for Mills. He's sprung the defence here. He's got Sampson with him. Checks onto his right. Cuts across another one. A little backheel chance now for Longford. He fires in. Oh, I say that was close. Just to the deflection off the falling Harrison. Went wide of Fisher's left-hand post. And I thought that was in, and so did you, Stevie.
Well, it was brilliant again, actually. Mills turned inside. I thought he was going to have a right foot shot, but he backheeled it back to Longford. And rather than just thrashing at it, Longford actually sensibly tried to place it into the far corner. It just took a deflection. Fair play to Longford again. That was a great effort. But another corner.
Corner to Didcot, third in the second half. High hanging ball this time. Garnell goes in, and in fairness, there's an absolute melee of bodies. Longford out to Baines on the apex. He's on his right peg, fires it low, just wide of the keeper's right hand post. It's the side netting. I always knew we were right down the barrel, and that wasn't quite happening. FA Youth Cup, how are Didcot doing?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's full time at Kenilworth Road, and it's finished Luton Town 4, Didcot Town 1.
But a superb effort. Self goes up with Wood on the far side. Wood, the striker for Bideford, turned away by Self, forces him back to the halfway line. Good work by the youngster. And in the end, Reed goes down the line. Mercier now with Elkins close by. Elkins lets him spin inside, and it's good work again by Mercier. Self takes it off his toe. And Self takes it off his toe, but Elkins is adjudged to have fouled him, and looks like the referee's going to get his book head again. Elkins had a little nibble at Mercier as he came in, and that was just enough to allow Self to take it off the toes of Mercier. 4-1, but that's great for the boys at Didcot to actually go and play Luton, and how far they progressed.
Absolutely. I mean, third year running, they've got to the first round proper of the FA Youth Cup. They're up against an academy side tonight in Luton. They're always up against it. I think they were 4-0 down at half time, so they've won the second half. I believe Charlie Noble scored a brilliant overhead kick near the end, so fair play to the lads. They'll be disappointed. I know they really wanted to go there and had real aspirations of getting through, but well done to the lads.
Excellent work there. The wall goes back. This time Foster looks out of his goal to his right hand side. If you take a line from the centre through the apex of the penalty area, this is where Bideford's free kick is. The wall's about 3 yards in, 27 yards from the dead ball line on the angle. This is going to be fizzed in here by Bideford Groves. It is. Foster near post palms it round the posters. The best thing, that'll be a corner to Bideford. Game's not been extremely lively, but just now it's just ramping up a touch.
Yeah, we're into the closing stages of normal time, and that was actually a good free kick. Didn't say anything before it was given. I've no idea what the referee saw there. I think he's booked Sam Elkins, but I didn't even see a foul.
Well, no, I think he peeled in as it's taken quickly this corner. Gross gets it back. He stands a high ball up near side. Vill will have to chase it out. If he stops that, he'll do well. I'll back him at Monmore, but in the end, it's gone away off the legs of Longford, who shut him down, and it's going to be a throw to Bideford on this near side. And as we watch down now, the tension, the nerves now being dried in the shirt. I'm trying to see who the long throw specialist is. Decent crowd in here tonight considering the weather. Nice bit of Tuesday night football, better than your Champions League's dead rubbers, that's what I say. Long throw in, Leroy heads it up, Self on the edge of the box, brings it down, knocks it up to the halfway line, nicely played, chance for Mills to bring it down on his chest, maybe a little flick on there, Mills who might have worked. In the end he turns it inside to Self again goes round the channel, Haysham's in here, if he can get onto his football he's got a chance here, keeper's out, rolls it past, it's 2-1, what a goal that was, the ball from Self, Haysham had got in the channel. Excellent work there by the youngster Haysham. The keeper came out, and in the end he made himself look slightly silly, was nowhere in the right place, and Haysham side-footed it past him from 20 yards, but the ball from the youngster down the line, it may be hit and hope, it looked a bit too good for hit and hope.
It was absolutely brilliant. It wasn't hit and hope at all. You're probably being fair on your son, or too fair on him. Unkind to him. John Mills actually probably could have flicked on in the first place to Haysham, he didn't. He rolled it back to Jack Self, who was actually under pressure, but his ball down the line was perfect. We were saying tonight's game might be settled by a mistake. I'm going to say the goalkeeper there, Grant Fisher, he came out to tackle Haysham and didn't go through with the tackle. He stood in no man's land, and what a fantastic finish from Pablo Haysham. He didn't try and overhit it, he just side-footed it past the keeper and he rolled the 25-30 yards into an empty net.
The moment it went past him, you thought he's on target. Bideford though driving forward with Downing. Downing tries to play it across. Organ will have to deal with this. Foster's coming out. Veal gets there as well. Foster's now in no man's land, but Organ's forced Veal out to this touchline. Rolls it back to the right back, Sampson. Sampson tries to step away from Longford. Right against the touchline in front of the main stand. Now he's forced him back, has Organ. And it's Harrison, squares in across the halfway line, centre half to the left back. Reid puts a long ball up. Now it's all hands to the punt for Bideford. Flag goes offside to one side. If you're nervous, if you're of a nervous disposition, we are into the 44th minute, which is 89 on the clock, and this will be a magnificent night down here at the Didcot Engineer and Luke Meadow Stadium, but I'm not counting the old chickens before they've hatched.
Well, definitely, let's not. We were 3-0 up against North Lee in a cup game the other week.
Oh, you had to bring that up, didn't you?
Well, I called it. I said it's game over, and that was, 3-0. So what I will say tonight is the period of the game where Bideford have been at their best was after Didcot scored their first goal. Didcot really need to get the foot on the ball there and retain possession and just take this sting out of the game, because with 2 or 3 minutes to go, including stoppage time, I suspect Bideford are just going to go for it. They'll probably rather lose 3-1 than not go for an equaliser here. So
Barnes is coming on for Veal, who, in fairness, it's been more of a tactical night, hasn't it? There has been changes of formations all over the place here. Now Barnes comes on, and I've got to say, he's a bit of a lean, lanky streak of sort of 6'3", isn't he?
That's right. And I believe he started for Bideford on Saturday, so I wouldn't say he's weakening the side by coming on, but he's obviously up front and he's going to go for it.
Harrison's just lost his first header in the air to Jack Longford, who scored the first goal, and that from Organ heading back to his keeper from 30 yards doesn't sound like a good thing, but considering he slipped in heading, his accuracy was unerring. Foster kicks it out towards us. Longford there. Sampson goes up, heads off the back of Sampson's head. Throw to Didcot. It's turning out to be quite an ending to this game. We had quite a start with our technical issues, but well played to Joffy, Chinook, Richard Kirby and Gavin Hyatt for getting us on air. A long throw down the line. Sampson volleys it straight against Longford. Haysham puts it up. Harrison heads it back acrobatically to his keeper Fisher. Fisher drop kicks. The target is Barnes. Barnes and Carnell. Barnes wins it. Stood off nicely by Elkins. Brings it down. Tries to lay it out. Doesn't. Little deflection forced to the feet of Ring. Ring spreads it out to the left back Reid. 10 yards inside the Didcot half. Down the touchline it goes to the goal scorer Mercier, who tries to take on Baines. Gets a little ricochet, has to stab it back now to Reid. Reid to the feet of Ring. Ring steps outside of Haysham, clips it down the line. Too long for Mercier. That will go away for a goal kick to Didcot. And you can hear the vocals in the background. I sense now we're in that horrible thing at these grounds where you don't know how many additional minutes are to be played. We are in the lap of the gods here. I got 40. We're into the 46th minute. Referee Webb is looking at his watch. It hasn't been pretty for the majority from either side, but currently Didcot lead by 2-1. That late goal there, right in the 87th minute, self-finding Haysham. Haysham takes the keeper out of the equation as he runs out from no man's land. Foster, goal kick for Didcot, out to this near side. Organ will have to deal with it. Good header by Organ, heads it against the back of Wood's head. Just needs a few more seconds away. The fans are in fine voice. They are in fine voice down here. They're a great bunch to sit amongst, in fairness, aren't they?
Well, they are when Didcot are winning. They're not so much fun when Didcot are getting turned over. I can tell you that they are.
But the annoyance of them then is enough to spur you on, because if you've got the locals getting a little bit chopsy behind you, then you think, well, I must be doing wrong. I better get me act on.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is Didcot are well supported away from home, and it's the same people that go away that are here tonight, and you've got to give them some credit for that.
Yeah.
They pay their money and they deserve to have a shout.
Have a show in the moon. There we are, ball down by the 18-yard box, throw to Didcot. Sampson's not happy with that. Haysham has the ball in their hands. We are into the 47th minute of the second half. Thrown into the corner. In the corner is Haysham. Steps away from Sampson, but he takes it out. It's going to be a goal kick. Fisher will load this long. Barnes will go up. Every blue shirt will amass their way forward to try and get something out of the game now. Bideford trailing by 2-1. Longford gets a header above. Self will have to get there. Ring turns it forward. Finds Wood. Wood stabs it to Barnes, but loses out to Ballard. Ballard will try and play the The channel board does so. Mills will put Fisher under pressure, but Mills just lumps it long. Leroy, free header, heads it back from whence it came. Referee looks at his watch. Brought down by Villis. Villis spreads it out to Reed. Reed for Bideford. 6 yards inside his own half. Goes cross-field. Barlow gets enough on it to head it back towards his near touchline. Downing stabs it to Sampson, the right back. Downing gets the ball down. Referee said that's enough down here at the Didcot Engineer and Luke Meadows Stadium. It's a good victory for Didcot Town. They win by 2-1. Didcot Town third in Division 1 South and West have been taking on Premier League Bideford. They drew 3-3 on Saturday, and today it has ended the way of Didcot by 2-1. Time for us to have a little momentary blip, or time for us to have a little bit of time to ourselves, because now it is things that you all hate. A little bit of an advert, but in the meantime it allows us to draw breath. You're listening to Oxfordshire Sports Online.
Oxfordshire Sports Online.
Shore City Limited are a company based on the edge of Oxfordshire that provide health and safety instrumentation that monitors the workplace and employees to keep a safe working environment. Shore City provide instruments to monitor for things such as harmful gas, possible explosives or bad air quality. These are often more common than one might think and can occur in many work environments such as laboratories, farm slurry pits or paint factories. If you believe you may need to start monitoring in the workplace, please search for Shore City Limited online and contact them.
For document solutions that work for your business, choose the Red Corner. As experienced Canon accredited partners, we deliver tailored solutions for all types of organizations. We help you streamline the way you work, manage your costs, and increase productivity and security. Find out how at theredcorner.co.uk.
RJS Waste Management UK are a company providing a complete waste collection, disposal and recycling service for businesses throughout the UK. We specialise in hazardous waste and difficult non-hazardous waste that should not be landfilled for businesses ranging from small independents to larger companies, factories, construction companies and multinational organisations. And remember, we are specialists in asbestos surveying and removal. For all your waste management needs, call 01865 598 069 or email info@rjswastemanagement.co.uk.
Oxfordshire.
Well, back here, it has been a rousing end to the game. The fans on their feet as both sides came off. Bideford got a real decent round of applause, but it was a second half that really didn't deserve 3 goals, but it got 3 goals, and it was 3 goals. Longford from a Ballard cross on 67, and on 68 Mercier equalised. Those were 2 fleeting moments in the middle of what has been a struggle, a titanic struggle between Didcot and Bideford this evening, but it was settled on 87 when Haysham received a pass from Self, and the keeper Fisher made up Haysham's mind for him by rushing out and not really getting here, there or anywhere, and it was curled in from some 24 yards round the keeper by Haysham to make it 2-1, and that's how it finished. It has been, Steve, in my opinion, a titanic struggle. What's your thought on the 90?
Yeah, I'm drawing my breath there. It wasn't the best game. I said that at half time, I say at full time. I think there were too many mistakes in it, but look, the importance of tonight's game for Didcot can't be underestimated. I think the club got a lot of money for that. It's probably nearly £3,000, and vitally important for the season, actually, if we want to continue to press for promotion. So financially huge, and actually we I'm getting battered here again, but no, it wasn't a great game, but the result was all important. Yeah. And let's give the lads some credit too. They kept battling.
It was a cup match, wasn't it? That's what it was. It wasn't the football. I think if you play this next season, if both sides were in the same division, I think you'd see a different game of football. I think Bideford have travelled up from the southwest, long journey for a Tuesday night, struggled to get here through the traffic, and they've come out and they've given it just about everything they had in the locker. But it wasn't, as you said, it wasn't a game for the purists. The weather was against it. It was good old-fashioned, a good step, good loads of steps up from park football, but it was all about it was a war of attrition.
Yeah, and let's be honest, honest, all 3 goals actually were, in their own way, had touches of quality about them. Yes, there were mistakes in all of them as well, but you'd have to say that there was a bit of quality on each of the goals we've seen tonight. So it wasn't just, you know, a poor game of football and there's nothing to take away from that. It actually was an enjoyable spectacle from a Didcot's perspective, because at the end of the day we now travel to Uxbridge in less than 2 weeks' time for another huge game.
And of course it is, as we say, we don't want to add the word money in, because money could be the root of all evil in an awful lot of different things in the world, but for a club like Didcot, every little bit does help, and it would have helped Bideford as well.
Absolutely, and you do actually have to regard the FA Cup and the FA Trophy in financial terms for Didcot. They're not going to win the competition, but if you get through 2 or 3 rounds, it sets up your season. It means you can have an absolutely you can stay focused all year, because you know you're going to pay the odd bill here and there, and that's actually what this competition means. It is the bread and butter for Didcot in terms of what they can achieve this season.
Well, we speak about tomorrow night. We could well be on air. We've got to check the weather forecast and different things regarding the technicals tomorrow night when we travel to Northley, who take on Shortwood. And Shortwood made around about £150,000 from last year's FA Cup run. Slightly exceptional maybe that they got as far as they did, but for want of a better phrase, they are still in the FA Cup and will be making that money count. And it's the reinvestment, not just on the playing staff, but to facilities that mean the most. And Didcot down here at the Didcot Engineer and Luke Meadow Stadium, you know, they've got a great setup, but it needs maintaining, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, you've made the
alluded
comment
to the stand.
You say it every time we're here, and it's worth saying every time we come. That stand, that not unfinished stand, has been there for 3 years, just about. I was down here when it first started going up, and the chairman works everything off. You know, he's down here every spare minute, and a few lads are. But the reason that's not been finished is we can't afford it.
Right, we are going to have a quick word before we wrap up this evening with hopefully a very victorious. I hasten to add, he's not always the happiest man in the world, and he's coming up behind you now, Steve. Young manager, a year in charge, wearing a Man City hat, which is always a little bit sort of as long as he was a Man City fan before they got all their money, that would be good. Ian Concannon, you know, your thoughts on what has been a tough evening?
Yeah, we were far from our best today, but you know, our side has got a lot of character and a lot of commitment, and we weren't great. We were a bit sloppy at times, but I think our character and our commitment's got us through tonight. And our 2 goals has come from probably our only 2 bits of half decent play, and you know, both lads have buried it nicely. So we're delighted in there, to be fair.
In fairness, I just called it just a good old regulation cup tie. It wasn't pretty. It was a war of attrition at times. It was difficult conditions, but everybody stuck to it. Both sides gave it everything they could, and you know, nobody allowed the other side to settle and play their game, did they?
No, not really. I mean, the pitch is decent. It's slippery. It's wet. I mean, it's ideal for, you know, nice crisp football. But you know, it's actually quite difficult underfoot. You know, the passes were going astray from both teams, and it was probably who adapted quicker. But you know, we just dug in there. We kept going. You know, we kept believing that we would get something, and you know, and we proved that. And we deserved to replay on Saturday. We put in a good performance second half, and you know, we're just delighted that we've got our name in the hat for the next round.
You're off to Uxbridge. I no doubt we'll see you tomorrow night, spying on a couple of your opponents. Northley taking on Shortwood tomorrow night. You never stop, you managers. You've been in the game now a year.
Yeah.
I was reading up. You know, your first year's flown by. I was reading the article by Joffrey saying it had flown by. You know, you've got to take your hat off to Babs next to me, because he was the bearer of bad cup tidings for you, but you've got your nose through in 90 minutes.
Yeah, well, you know, your luck had to change somewhere along the line, didn't it? You know, you came to Bashley, and you know, we got a result, and you've done the same again today. But yeah, this first year has gone really quick with me and Jamie. You know, first couple of games we were totally exhausted, to be honest, with what was going on with, you know, mentally. But you know, we're slowly getting there. The lads are believing in what we're trying to do. With, you know, Andy coming on board has made a huge difference to us. You know, the old head, experienced campaigner, with 2 lads that are, you know, keen as mustard but wet behind the ears. So you know, he takes a lot of credit for our, you know, our first year in charge, and I think it's proof in the pudding now. We are going the right way, and people can see that, I think. So
I thought it was very interesting tonight that every time you set up with a formation, Bideford mimicked it. They changed it very quickly. You went 4-4-2 at half time. They mimicked straight away.
Yeah, we we picked a team to start the game that we really wanted to have a go at them from the start, the way we finished the game on Saturday, and it never really materialised. It didn't really work, probably except in the first 5 minutes. Then we changed it again, went back to 4-3-3, and again it wasn't working. So we made a change at half time and we went back to 4-4-2, nice and solid. Everybody knows the jobs, and we looked far more comfortable. It's sometimes formations don't work, and sometimes you just got to sacrifice people at times to make it work, and we got a football result, and that's the most important thing.
Absolutely, the result. It's all about the score. At the end of the day, you've won by 2-1. You head off to Uxbridge. You got a weekend off. Are you going to have a weekend off? Are you going to do your Christmas shopping, or are you going to be off scouting?
No, I'm off. I'm going to be watching a game. I shall be out watching a game on Saturday. Andy's going to go and watch Uxbridge. We'll probably go and watch a game tomorrow night, and then my missus might see me on Friday night. We'll have to see.
Lucky Mrs. Concannon. Well done, Ian. You and Jamie, take your boys off. Go and give them telling off, actually. Just go and say you didn't play football. I'm not happy with you.
No,
and bring them in for extra training.
They know that, to be fair. We're training again Thursday, but it's job done as far as we're concerned.
Thank you very much, Ian Concannon. Happy manager, happy joint manager tonight. Final word comes to young Stevie Clare alongside me. Babs is his name on Twitter. It don't matter what you dress it up. Ian said it was 2-1. That's all that mattered when it came down to it.
Yeah, you're right. If you go and speak to the chairman right now, he won't care one jot that wasn't the best game we'll see this season. He will say, well done, Connors, well done, Jamie. We're in the next round, and let's see if we can go down to Uxbridge and get another result, because, as I said, it sets up our season. 2 or 3 wins in either the FA Cup or the FA Trophy, it makes a huge difference.
Makes a huge difference. Big thanks to Steve Clare, who joined me tonight. Tomorrow night I will be joined by Andy Roberts, but you will have to check the Twitter feed, and you will have to check the Facebook page. Go to our Facebook page and like us. Keep an eye on it, because we will tell you if we're broadcasting. Our aim is to broadcast, but we are out in the elements, and if it rains like it did tonight, I'm not standing out with all that electrical goods in the middle of a field at the A-Plan Ensham Hall Arena. But keep an eye on it. You can follow us on Twitter as well, at Oxford_sports, as well as going to all the W's, OxfordSportsOnline.co.uk. Big thank you to Joffrey Chinnock, Richard Kibbe and Gavin Hyatt for getting the Oxbox TV radio player working for us and our own website tonight. Took us a little bit of time, but we were on air and we didn't miss a moment, because the kickoff was delayed by 10 minutes. It finished the way of Didcot beating Bideford by 2-1. Goals from Jack Longford and Pablo Haysham doing the damage. They're through to face Uxbridge in the next round. But for now, I've got to say good night to everybody. Thank you for listening. We'll leave you with a little bit about what we are all about. Good night.